Yeah, I see it says broadcast live.
All right, let's see. Are we live, guys? Are we live?
Ooh.
Somebody, let's see. I'm gonna check the YouTube and make sure.
Oh wait, so this streams to your YouTube?
Yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah,
Okay.
it's streaming. But then later on, I'm gonna like cut out clips. But I wanted to stream it, and I'm gonna take it down, and
That's
that way
real.
whoever wants to
That's
watch it.
raw. Hey, that's raw.
All right, what's up, everybody? So I don't know if anyone's in yet or whatever, but if you are, you'll see it later, or if you're not. So we got the world famous rapper right now, Mr. Papa Perk, or to your back hurt or whatever. Kid, man, introduce yourself.
Hey, Kid Buu, man. AKA Kid Buu the Demon, AKA the reason favorite rappers get replaced. And more recently, I've been hearing this Gucci Man of the trap scene. I guess because of the age, but yeah, I'll take that. I'll take being the OG. I don't give a fuck.
Technically,
It's
I mean,
true.
even if you were 18 when you came out, you'd still be an OG because you've been out for what 5, 6 years now. So
Yeah, but I'm OG even by the definition of the streets, man. I'm about to be 35, nigga. Like,
yeah,
you
that's
feel me?
true.
Yeah, so like I'll accept it though, because it's better for me to accept the OG ways and you know live that life that comes with that, which is usually like balance and peace, no rocky shit, as opposed to trying to live in the young nigga ways and still going through young nigga problems. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to do that.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah, been there, done that.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So I know you when you first started rapping, you went by Humongous the God, and
Yeah,
then
humongous to God.
yeah, and then you kind of switched up your career a little bit once you put out. I think it was I think Wanted You was the first song, or Dead Roses. Right around that time, you kind of switched your name. What was the motivation behind that? And why did you decide to go that route?
Legal issues that I couldn't talk about before, but now I can talk about now. Like it's been 5 years since the NDA, so I could legally this year is the year that I can actually talk about this shit. But when I was humongous to God, a lot of the stuff that I was talking about in the music was stuff that was occurring at the moment. So it was a lot of the stuff was stuff that I had did and was being watched by the feds for, and was trying to beat the case about, but contradictory to myself, I was like rapping about stuff. You know what I mean? Which, if you fast forward to today, seeing cases with the YSL and Young Thug, like they'll actually use lyrics against you. Like they really do that. So I wasn't making it easier for any lawyer. My first lawyer actually quit. He was like, "You're paying me to work for you, but then you're skip the country, and while you're out of the country, you're anonymously dropping videos like all over the internet. Like it was on World Star and stuff. I'd have like a connection with Q, so I'd have them upload the shit. And because I'm not uploading, like there's no way to figure out an IP address of where I'm at. So I literally would like, you know, get an encrypted email, talk to Q for a bit, send him my files, and then he'll agree when he will upload it. You know what I mean? So I think at one point the feds even had reached out to them, like, well, where is he sending these from? And they're like, we don't know. He's hitting us from like a encrypted email, so we don't know where he's at. You know, they had issues with that. But I was taunting them for sure, bro. I would wear masks all the time. Like I was first rapper that was really all masked up all the time, looking like COVID. Some people think I was like predicting COVID. I was not predicting COVID. I had no idea that was gonna happen, bro. Like duh. Like you know, I don't tell the future, duh. I'm not Nostradamus or anything. But I thought I was kind of creepy. I'm not gonna lie, because I used to sell the face mask for a bit too, like online. Because I did a lot of that too. People don't know I was doing a lot of selling online. I did a lot of products on Amazon. I also invented my own product, Big Bean. That was making me a lot of money too. My issue with the feds was a few other things with bootleggers, but also too, it was taxes. So, you know, like tax evasion and shit like that. So I got that all squared away. That's why I'm back in the country now. But when I came back, I legally couldn't be humongous to God because, given the circumstances, that was an artist that was only created to taunt the FBI in a case that I had. You know, I was looking at it this way: like at the end of the day, if I lost, at least like maybe I can acquire a deal, like some dudes behind bars, and then my family can get that money, my daughter, whatever, you know. And but the lawyer talked to me a bit. It's like, bro, make it make sense. Like, if you could actually beat this, if I told you I could actually beat this for you, would you just stop those antics, and just fucking, you know, come clean, talk to them a bit? I can definitely get it out if you work with them and explain to them what you did, admit your wrongs, teach them how you did it. They acquire this to tighten up the system so it never happens again, and we move forward. And that's really what I did. So it's pretty much like having to give up myself. Thank goodness I wasn't on no like organized shit with a bunch of people. It was literally just me doing shit by myself, and I wasn't doing shit right. But to be fair, in fairness, I come from a poor environment. I never had any high school, let alone finish junior high education that would teach me how to do accounting and pay taxes, you know? Especially I grew up in a household where my mom is like, fuck the president. You know, she was like that, like in an argument. If I would be like, but mom, she'd be like, I don't give a fuck if the president or Jesus Christ came down here himself and said that shit. She was always like that. And if I try to tell her about taxes, she's like, what fucking taxes? They need to pay me. So worst financial advice, worst financial advice from my mom. I wouldn't advise anybody to get financial advice from her. A great cook, great living mom, but horrible when it comes to like filing taxes. For real.
But we still love you, Miss Boo.
Yeah, but that's what happened. So, you know, actually after my meeting, DEA, one of the members from the DEA, because the FBI guy had already, you know, this was in their office. He was already fed up with me, but the DEA guy had a bit of sense of humor, and he was like, "So what are you gonna do from here out? Like, start a new rap career?" And I laughed, and I was like, "I might just do that." You know, at that time I was pretty broke, bro. I had like I think only 80 grand to my name. You know what I mean? When I moved to LA, and to me that was broke. I was doing like $175,000 a week, give or take, on a slow week. So to have only 80 grand without not knowing how the fuck I'm gonna make any more money, and I didn't want to jump back into the Amazon shit because I'm like, I'm only getting older, bro. I'm like 28, turning 29. Once 29 hits, like 30 is right there. And you know, a lot of people put that pressure on themselves. They believe that life is over at 30, that it's a midlife thing, and I disagree. You know what I mean? I'm not going to consider 30 midlife because that means I'm planning to die at 60. If 30 is the middle of my life, you know, that means 60 is the end of it. I'm going to live well past that. So I have some mindset now. But back then, I didn't have that. When you're 28, 29, it's easier said than done. You know what I mean? So I was like, I got to go all in. I got to do what the DMT star guy told me. You know, we talked about that off camera. But yeah, I had to really chase, you know, I had to really chase something, man, without any holds, no fucks given, like all chances, all cards on the table. You know, I really make it happen. But I couldn't do it under Humongous God or HXTXG legally. So this means I had to scrap out my music with Migos. I had to scrap out, and I had also a song too I was gonna debut with Takeoff. I mean, not Takeoff, Quavo. I'm sorry, I already had the song out with Takeoff, but with Quavo. And yeah, well, I was waiting for the Migos remix to come out because it wasn't public yet. So I had knew about it, of course, you know, with the homie. So I was like, all right, afterwards can I drop it? That'd be perfect timing, you know what I mean? And then I had 2 tapes with Khaled already. So like already for Humongous, he already was doing, you know what I mean? Like he was doing some shit. But
sure.
I couldn't legally go that route because like what am I gonna talk about as Humongous the God is all that Humongous the God type shit, you know what I mean? Which is like all trap shit that I couldn't really talk about. So I was like, what do I do? I was like, man, I still want to do music. I'm real passionate about it. I reinvented myself, but it wasn't right away. I was actually at a little Zan concert.
Oh, those
I was with Zan and a few of our other buddies, and this was right before his show. I remember when backstage, we were partaking in some things with some people back there.
We're taking this thing.
Yeah, and it was a little bit too much. I guess I had one of those. How do I like to say? Wolf of Wall Street with the Quaalude moment.
Oh yeah. Where he's crawling to the Lamborghini.
I had that moment. I had that moment, bro. I thought the perk ain't hit. I was like, man, I might well take another one and shit. But I had took shrooms and a bunch of other shit. By the time we supposed to go upstage, bro, I'm not making it to the stage. I'm falling back, trying to grab the homie. And I fall back and smack my head on the concrete. I wake up to paramedics, like with the little thing on my nose. And they're flashing a light in my eye. And they're like, what's your name, sir? And I was like, Kid Buu. Like, but I don't know why I said that. I'm in my head like, did you just fucking say you're Kid Buu? Like, what the hell's wrong with you? And Zan is like, nah, he's tripping on shrooms. I remember when I was tripping, I thought I was, he said somebody. I'm like, Zan, shut the fuck up. He's like, I thought I was MGK or something like that. He said some wild shit that I was like, bro, shut up. So anyway, long story short, I signed paperwork because I didn't want to go to the hospital. I didn't want to make a scene already because it was already embarrassing enough that they were there. I didn't want to be taken out on a stretcher because I was like, that would be it. Like, yes. Yeah, Stat Quo was pissed. Stat's like, yo, get him out of here. Like, it was nice meeting him, but he's a fucking real rock star. And I'm talking about like right now is not the time. Because this was when Zan was performing at that big arena in downtown LA.
The
what's it called now? The crypto arena? Before
he
it
was
was
there.
crypto. Yeah, it was before the crypto. It was crypto. It was there. So this was a big show. Like, Ski Master Slump God was one of the openers. Like, it was fucking big, bro. So it wasn't a good look for me to be there like that. It got me out of there. Anyhow, the next morning, literally, I wake up and everybody's just, hey, Kid Buu, hey, yo, Kid Buu, like, and I'm like, what? Shut up, bro. Like, and I had a talk with the guys. I'm like, no, literally, like, you already got the M, like, and I was like, but I like, Vegeta. That's why I got this. It's not because of that. And they were like, but think about it, bro. Like, you can do hella styles. Like, didn't you say Drake was Kid Buu? Because I did say that once. I was like, Drake is Kid Buu of the rap game. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, they all hate that he'll steal their sound and do it better, but they can't do shit about it, because he's just so powerful. Yeah. So I guess that was my time to be like, well, shit, like, why not? So I hop on the first flight back to Florida. I was in LA at the time, and that's when my dreads were blonde, and I just went, dyed them bitches pink, cut them short, came right back, and was just with the antics and the fuckery, bro. I'm roasting pigs. I'm shooting flamethrowers in downtown LA, and helicopters is coming, chasing us, shutting down video sets. Like, bro, I'm pissing rappers off left to right. I'm going viral. Like, bro, I was just everything. I was just back to back. I was like Kirby, really, like, with the clout. Yo, matter of fact, yo, check this out, bro. Kid Buu, Kirby, and Ditto from Pokemon are all three pink characters that all do the same thing. They absorb someone else's power and take it and use it against them, but more powerful. Why is it always like some pink shit? Right? Isn't that crazy? Because I thought about this. Pussy's pink. I don't know if we can say this on YouTube.
Yeah, we say we're into it now.
Vagina is pink. But if you think about it, it really do take in the seed of your father, and you become a better version than your daddy. We all become better versions than our father, bro. We can only improve as the generations go on. And I'm like, isn't that crazy? Like, I wonder if that's what these cartoon people were thinking when they made these characters, like, thinking about Pussy. Like, I'm gonna make a character, but I can't call him Pussy. I'm gonna call him Kirby. He's gonna suck up everybody, suck their power up.
So around that same time, you ended up going viral for a DJ Vlad interview. Tell everybody, like, how you got that interview first, and then, like, what made you, like, kind of make up the stuff that now we know, like the clone stuff and, all that? Like, what made you do that, and it kind of explain that whole situation?
Firehouse is owned by a gentleman called Miguel Solana.
Firehouse.
Good. Yeah, Firehouse. It's a production or entertainment like type company. They're the ones who like also had like little pump signs and stuff like that, and Bunkang and Quiet Cuban Doll, a long list of fucking talents. Miguel's really good at finding people before they pop. Him and Dooney both. So I ended up linking with those guys and signing management. So he did quite a bit of things for me. Like, he got my IG verified. He got me changed from HXTXG, which was my username at the time, to Kid Buu. So he was doing like all those like type of things, you know what I mean, for me. But as far as like the video content that I create, they just told me like, be free with it, do what you do, and go viral. So some of the videos I did, like I did the Blockboy JB, the shoot, and the ghost, and that was kind of a subtle flex hack because people who don't have money won't understand this. But the Rolls Royce, when you open the door, it stops. Like while it's on driving, it will automatically park. It doesn't allow you to ghost ride, so you cannot ghost ride a ghost. And that was the pun right there. Like, I'm ghost riding a ghost. And all I had to do was, we're in the hills, put it a bitch in neutral, shut the car off, and let it roll, which we almost fucked up that Rolls Royce because it started picking up momentum, bro. I was like, oh, shit. Anyways, I did stuff like that. I'm eating lamb and a lamb with a lamb. Later, like, it would go viral. A lot of things like this will go viral. And that led to, the Vlad interview. That originally what it was. I had so many videos that were going viral that he was like he reached out to Miguel, like, hey, I want to interview this guy. He's had a bit of success uploading viral videos. And that's what it was, and like I had said on that TikTok video, I was like, when I went to Vlad, I didn't know who Vlad was because at the time I only knew about like No Jumper and like Rap Genius and Breakfast Club. Like that was like my go-tos, you know. And I didn't know who he was. Genuinely, it wasn't on my radar. So I did some YouTube college and looked it up, but I saw a bunch of shit that was like comical. Like it was like dudes making fun and like, you know, like not really taking it too serious, or they took themselves too serious. And to me, that comes off as corny as fuck. When I ever saw a guy take himself too serious, I'm like, nigga, you need a chill pill, bro. Like for real, like you look mad whack, bro. Like, for real, bro. You dick riding yourself too hard, my nigga.
Yeah.
So I wasn't gonna be that guy. So I was like, you know what? I'm practicing this new version of me, humility and humongous with somebody. I didn't really crack jokes a lot, bro. I wasn't a funny guy. I didn't like that shit. Like I tried to keep serious all the time, you know. So this was me practicing something new. It was therapeutic for me. It was a way for me to grow emotionally and grow in character. You know, becoming more sociable. So I was doing stuff like that, man. I was like, let me be funny. So on Vlad, I thought I'm gonna just be funny, but I didn't know what I was gonna do. I'm gonna be real. I did not know what I was gonna say or do. I just was like, I'm gonna wing it. I think I could be pretty funny if I wing it. Who knows? And if not, it comes off as awkward. The awkward within itself could be funny. Thank God the Family Guy for making shit like that possible. So when he asked me about the like, so you were born, and I'm like, thinking, I'm talking. I was like, I don't know why I caught a moment. I was like, now's a perfect time to teach people about this Raelian stuff I've been learning about. Because at this point, I've been studying Raelianism for like 11 years. And it was the only thing that was like the reason for me being like, okay, I'll be open-minded to being peaceful, being a loving person, and, you know, smiling from time to time. And amongst that, it taught me a lot of other things, and cloning being one of the other things it taught me about. So I was like, man, this is perfect to talk about this and raise awareness for this. You know, like at least for a little bit of people, because this guy don't got much clout. Like whoever the fuck he is, like I could see he got like the weirdos of the internet. It was like his fan base. You know what I mean? So I was like, let me talk to the weirdos about that weird shit. I go talk weird shit too. You know, I was like, people love that. You know, you meet some dudes, y'all smoke some weed, and you're like, hey, you believe in aliens? Like, yeah, and then y'all click. So I felt like that's what the Vlad was for, bro. I didn't think it was really gonna do what it did, but that topic hit Reddit, which hit this, who hit that, and everybody and their mother started talking about it. It blows up. He chopped my interview up in 5 parts. So realistically, I was right. It would only get about 50 to 80,000 views because the rest of the videos, they pretty much did that. It was only the part about cloning that did millions of views and went fucking viral. And at that time, I was being like Kid Buu rapper clone or whatever. If you go to Google Trends, you can see around that time I was Googled as much as the Kardashians, bro. That was like, what the fuck for me? Like, holy shit. Like, I was shook. I was like, damn, nigga, this could be really big for me. Sure enough, we start getting calls here and there for labels that were calling me before that were on some, oh, I'll keep an eye on you. Now we're calling us back like, hey, can we, you know, have to sit down? We want to talk some numbers. So, you know, what I did was, and I'm about to give you our game on this one, those independent artists trying to catch a deal. But what I did was I sat down, and I'm not going to mention which labels for sheer respect of their power that they have. You know, I come in peace. They know that. So I won't mention names. But one label, the first label came and said, hey, we'll offer you, it was 150,000, like 150,000. Oh, cool. Can I take this to my lawyer to review it? That's not normal. I mean, that's not uncommon. Sorry. It's quite normal. Okay. So they give me the copy. I didn't go to my lawyer. I went and took my next meeting. Next person, like, hey, this is what they offering me. What will you offer me? Because I'm ready to sign. And I got all this new music I just showed you. Everything that's going right now, buzzing with my name. Here's the charts. Look, I'm being looked at as much as a Kardashian. So if I drop, it's up. You know, I was selling myself. Like I did the other day, I'm a businessman. Like Humongous is a businessman. I know how to sell. I'll sell tap water to a priest as holy water. You know what I mean?
And you were hustling.
I was hustling, yeah. You know, making it happen. So they offered 3. Okay, cool. Same story again. Could I take a copy of this to show my lawyer? I did this like maybe 4 or 5 times to many labels until one label said, we'll give you 10 million. $500,000 up front. Yeah, 10 million, $500,000 up front, $800,000 for your recording budget. And we'll cover lawyer fees and all that shit. Don't go talking to nobody else. You ready to sign or what? Boy, I signed right then and there. But here's where I fucked up. I was like, I have creative control right over the music. They said, yeah, absolutely. Over your music, you have complete creative control. I did not have control over the marketing. That's where I fucked up. So I signed that shit.
That you can get.
I sign it. I accept my advance. You know what I mean? After taxes, this person fucking me out of money, such and such. I can't speak on names because they got gag orders on me for defamation of character. But I got fucked on that deal, guys. Out of the $500,000, out of a 10 mil, 800 grand, your boy only got 175. And after paying a lawyer fee, which by the way, they paid the lawyer fee. So my buddy that fucked me pocketed that fee too. I was left with nothing, bro, pretty much like chump change. That's why I was modeling for Fashion Nova and doing these features left and fucking right, bro. You know what I mean? Like I was like trying to make bread by any means. I'm still hustling here. And I had already ran through my 80 with all kind of shit, shopping and spending on my daughter and shit. Like splurge a lot, you know, and kids grow quick. So, and I wasn't buying cheap shit. It was like Balenci, Louis, Gucci, no cheap shit. I'm blowing through this cash like an idiot, bro. Like I never had money before. Hoping to get the next deal and the next deal. But when I signed with them, I'm not gonna lie, I regretted it very quickly. Like 3 months in, because of the marketing thing. So, of course, everybody knows the live happened with the cloning. Then this with the cloning. Then the video, they want to do cloning this and that. And talk, bro, it was clone after clone after clone after clone. And I had to play along with this shit because I couldn't get out of that deal. Not right away. And I was not, I legally was not prepared. And I was not in the legal mindset neither. I wasn't like legally savvy and understanding contracts and how to get out of them and stuff. I am now today. I'm well educated in that now. And I'm not signing no 360s. Like no one's fucking me over, you know, anymore. That will never happen if I decide to do a deal moving forward. But they had full control over me, man. It was like sickening at some point because here I was, you know, in a humorous way, trying to bring in something that I truly believe in, this cloning stuff, you know. Was I cloned? No, you know. That was clearly the part of, you know, the hook liner to get people in. But when you look up aliens and cloning, it is a real thing. It is very real, you know. So I wanted to raise awareness of that. They wanted to profit off of that and continue to make it a mockery. Now, here's where that's a problem for me. I didn't want to make it a mockery or a joke because doing that will make a lot of people more in disbelief towards it or rebel against this topic and eventually start to hate and ridicule me or look at me as a complete joke. You said in one of your videos about me that I feel where Kid Buu's career, where people didn't even take the time to consider his music serious because he does. You were saying how serious and like dope bars that I have and how good my music is. And you were like, I'm gonna just say he's better. He has way more better songs than Carti. You probably pissed off a lot of people when you said that. But the reason why, thank you. Well, the reason why people don't fucking look at the music is because they're so blindsided by that gimmick. So they don't really take it serious. And then they are like sheep, like you say. They follow a bandwagon, like you had said, a bunch of fucking parrots. You know, they just repeat whatever the fuck they heard. So somebody's like, fuck this guy. Everyone's like, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. That's all I hear. I mean, it's a zoo full of birds. Just all repeating themselves, bro. A bunch of sheep, just like with no one leading the herd except for a fucking another blind sheep. And that is why I say, like, I can care less what the mainstream consumer thinks about me because that's not what I sought out to be. I came in to get a bag, which is what I do. I make business, I make it happen. Get a bag and get out, mind my business, bro. And be kind of like a Gucci man, bro. Like I always liked Gucci man. You know, I always liked like Wiz Khalifa before he went super, you know, mainstream on the Taylor Gang. I love the indie artists. I love the underdog. Like it's just something about it that gets me like I love it, bro. You know, it gets me going. Grinds my gears, get my gears rolling, or whatever the fuck. But I really genuinely love that story of an underdog, you know, doing his thing, you know, and winning independently. I really love that. You know, I always go for the undercard. So when people try to when they try to compare me, I don't see that.
Yeah. Do you feel it was also because like I feel like all the YouTubers at that time were kind of ganging up on you, like Blackie Speaks. And some other people were like posting videos saying like you lied about your age because of that one chick that like called you out. Remember that? Where she was like, he told me he was 22.
Hey, you know what? I thought I was the only person that thought she was crazy, but apparently and we didn't mention any names here, so I think we're good to speak, right? It's allegedly she actually has mental issues. Allegedly, I'm not even. I'm being for real though. I spoke with someone who his best friend actually dates her, and his best friend reports back to him about her mental health condition. And he's like, bro, she's like a wacko, and I believed it too. I believed it for a bit. But
anyone an hour and a half video like that,
you know what's weird though is like, again, the label. I was like, y'all see this video? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, but here's the thing, y'all are seeing this. This person has less than 100 subscribers. How is it that everyone is seeing this? And then I saw the video pop up as an ad, like an ad view.
No.
And that is when I got pissed. I was like, yo, who's running these fucking ads? Because this bitch is not capable of doing that.
She's not that intelligent.
Respectfully, you know, I'm not gonna say she's not that intelligent. I'm just saying I know she's not capable of that. She's not. That's above her pay grade. That's a different level of clearance, Johnson. You know what I mean? Like that's something different. So that's when I started realizing y'all behind this. So y'all really are trying to portray me to be the villain of this game. You know, and I'm wondering why people is randomly hating. Some of the comments will be bots, not even real people hating. You know.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't understand this. And I think what it was is they wanted to recreate what they saw was the most profitable being, which was Daniel Hernandez, 6'9". They saw what Elliot had, you know, because Elliot even told me, he said, hey, not to discredit my colored-haired friend, but you, if this was baseball, you hit it out of the park. Grand slam 3 times in one season. Do you know how legendary that is? And I said, I'm going to be frank with you. I don't know about sports. So I don't know how legendary hitting 3 grand slams in one single game would be. But I looked it up. And I don't think even Babe fucking Ruth did this shit, bro. So what he was saying is that, like, for culture, for hip hop, you have the most viral moments that relied on solely on your content, not beefing with another artist and combining y'all two's demographic and audience to create this, you know, this noise. You did it all by yourself. And he was like, I took my hat off to you. So like niggas like him, bro. I lost sight of where I was going with that. But when he told me that shit, yeah, when he told me that, bro, I was like, okay, like, thank you for that compliment. That's really big. But this whole like other shit going viral clearly has to do with them because they were paying for shit to go viral more than what it should have. So if I spoke about something that was genuine, like let's say about like, I don't know, guns down, gloves up, no one would see it. In fact, the interview would get deleted.
Mm-hmm.
If we even address that whole situation with that girl, that shit stays up. It's the first thing you see. And I'm like, bro, like this shit is lame. So y'all really just trying to dick ride the money that Elliot Range is making with 6ix9ine and trying to use me to recreate that, making people hate me because you think you're gonna make money off of the hate, but you're not. That's where I was going with that. You're not. It's not gonna happen because I'm not playing this game no more with y'all. So that's why I stopped doing shit. And when y'all stop doing shit, what has happened? You stop the show. Viewers leave.
Yeah.
You stop giving them you stop feeding the fiends what they want. They're gonna go somewhere else to go get that high.
Yeah.
And what happens when a fiend don't get what he wants? They become all jugged out and they get eggy. Now you went from being, man, I fuck with this nigga, man. He so is funny, bro. I love this nigga, bro. I be watching his content, bro. Kid Buu demon, but that baby crazy, man. You go from that to when I stop doing shit, like, man, fuck that nigga. That nigga fell off, man. That nigga faking it up bitch, man. Fuck that pussy nigga. That nigga was he ugly. He faking shit, bro. He sound like Uzi, he sound like Carti, bro. He clone. Like, bro, and it's like, yo, y'all, how long you been feeling like that? You switched up on me. I'm just trying to stay out the way, do my own thing, you know, like clear my mind, clear my head. Because little do they know, under all of that pressure with the label talking about like you have to do this, you have to do that, or good luck on getting your next advance. Good luck on us paying for this, for that. You know what I mean? Like, then, bro, I got back and depressed. Like, I was sad as fuck. You know what I mean? They taking everything, you know what I mean? Everything from me. Like, and things that I like really was like, all right, I'm gonna be passionate and try to show people me, my real character. They would delete it, sabotage it. My big boy neighborhood, bro, I gave the most rawest, genuine interview of who I was as a person. That shit lasted 2 minutes before it got taken down. I reached out to Big Boy. He's not answering my DMs, all this shit. I get word from the homies that he's in the mall with his family. I pull up on him at the mall, bro. Like, nice seeing you here. But I wasn't hostile. But I think he clearly was like, "Oh, this is awkward," because this guy just DM'd me and I left him like acting like I didn't see it. So I said, "Hey, if you don't like mind, like what happened on my interview with you?" Like I try to play like still with the smile, like it's not there. That's crazy, right? And he literally tells me straight up like this. He was like, "It was from the higher ups," and I was like, "From your company?" And he goes, "Nah, from your label."
What?
Yeah.
Because it was
So
too real, they didn't want
it
it
was,
up.
yeah, it was too genuine. It wasn't a bad guy. It wasn't a villain. There was no words in there that they could twist and make me seem like a child abuser or like a fucking a monster. You know what I mean? Like or a liar about his age, which is stupid because if you listen to Humongous to God, I talk about my daughter in my music. I talk about my age. Like I even reference 80s babies. Like, you know what I mean? So it's like I don't understand those comments. Believing it were all fake from bots. The likes, the promo for it. So then now you got a bunch of hormone raging kids, teenage boys that are horny as fuck, don't know how to think for themselves. They see a blonde with big lips, a fake nose, and fake tits that I paid for, telling them a lie about me, and then they want to come shit on me. And it's like, bro, you don't even check the facts. Like, like it was just beyond me. And it was one of those things that I was like, I don't even think I even care about fighting this shit no more, bro. I'm just not gonna give them clone content. I'm not gonna feed into this negative press. Anything I do, they try to switch it to a negative, bro. Like even with my ex China, Black China,
Oh yeah, Black China,
she
yeah.
she she got questioned. She got questioned by Charlemagne the God, and I respect Charlemagne for that, bro, for bringing that up because he was like, you know, didn't something happen between y'all, like a fight or something? And she said no. She was like, that never happened. I'm glad that they were able to address that because if he was under them, if he was under their control, the same day I won't mention this whole interview because I come in peace. I don't want no problems with them, bro. He wouldn't have asked that. But of course, Charlemagne, we know he's not afraid to get a little kick in the ass from time to time. He asked the question. He asked the unthinkable. Let me bring this nigga up. And he's like, because I actually like the dude. That's all he said. He's actually like the dude. He's a pretty funny guy. Like, I like him. And she said, nah, we friends. We cool. And that's what it was, bro. We're cool. We're friends. Nothing ever happened. And what's funny is people are so slow, they can't even piece things together. If you rewind back, the photo that they used for me and the hotel incident, supposedly where me and China got in a fight, right? That whole fake shit. There's a picture of police sitting outside that hotel. If you snatch that from Google image, bro, and put it in the Google image search, it will pop up from some volcano ash warning shit that happened like 5-6 years ago. They reused the photo. So not only did that was a clear takeaway if someone was smart enough to take the Google whatever image and do that, but common sense, it was all nighttime. My post of me back in LA, I wasn't even in Hawaii at the time. It was all night. So if it was night, why is it the middle of the afternoon when the police are there? You mean to tell me that they camped out for 12 hours throughout the night and stood the entire morning, had coffee, came back for lunch, and still stood outside the hotel for press and news because Kid Buu's that important? Get the fuck out of here. I'm not that important. I'm not that important, bro, for all of that. Like, when you look, it's like small little pages, not even real news pages. And that's when I realized, damn, they control fake media, like fake propaganda. It's just fake shit. You know what I mean? I got tired of that shit, bro. I was like, man, this is draining. Like, I don't want no parts of this shit. Like, this is like a fucking circus. That's why I dipped out for a little bit, bro. I dipped out for a little bit. I got out my deal, got money for the lawyer. You know, shout out OnlyFans. You know what I mean? Kept my bag up. You know what I'm saying? Bro made it real quick, paid the lawyer, got out my deal, bing bong, I'm out of this shit. You know what I mean?
So that Black China thing, that was a legit relationship, or was that like set up by the label?
Yeah, no, that was legit. We was dating for like 2 years, bro, seeing each other. 2 fucking years, nigga, before I was even nobody. To be quite frank, remember the 80K I only had at that time when I said I came back to the States? And that during that whole time, I was seeing her because I was friends with Zay Hilfiger, her, which is her nephew. And he's like, yo, come to my aunt's house. We gonna hang out. I go hang out one day, and it's fucking Black China. I'm like, this your aunt? I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, okay. And I didn't think nothing. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think nothing. I've never been the type to think like any celebrity like I had a crush on. I never had that. I never was like, to me, I'm whatever, you know. I never really had a crush on a celebrity, bro. I'm not gonna lie. And Jessica Alba, I think when I was a kid, that was about it. Fucking yeah. So he introduced me to her, and we didn't hit it off great. I fucking got so lit, I puked on Dream's Montclair jacket, and I thought it was a paper. No, I puked on her couch actually that was in her room because the room was connected to the bathroom. I felt like I was queasy. I was like, let me go puke. I don't want to like, and I don't know what happened. I went through the wrong door. Still had the puke. It was all over her couch that was in her own room. Lights were off. I couldn't see. So I thought I saw a roll of what looked like Bounty. You know, the quilted quicker picker upper. So like, I fucking picked that up, but it wasn't a roll of Bounty, the quicker quilted picker upper. It was fucking a Montclair jacket of her like 2-year-old daughter. So I'm like, I'm trying to clean it and the light cuts on and I just hear, oh motherfucker, you better run. By the time I came back in this room, I was like, Raggy? Like, huh? Bro, yeah, bro, like it was crazy. She tried to kill me that night. She tried to strangle me with the iPhone cord, the long one. And then I was like so lit. I was like, I don't care about dying. Kill me. Give me the phone. I don't give a fuck. You know who I am? In these streets, like in real life, fuck all the pink hair shit, bullshit. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. No, the pink hair wasn't around yet. But I was like, you know, fuck all this Hollywood shit is really what I was talking about, to be real. But Papa John's came at like 2, like in the midst of that happening. And I grabbed a pizza from the nigga and I opened it. I just started eating it. She's like, that's my motherfucking food. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. It's my shit. I'm eating a slice, nigga. Like, I was like, yo, I was off the Hennessy, bro. That's why I don't do good. Hennessy made me a demon. So anywho, that night was crazy. I go home with my boy, my assistant, Steven. And fucking like 2 days later, I get a call from Zay. And Zay's like, yo, my aunt want to apologize for the way she treated you at the house. You know, she overreacted. And she just want to apologize and take you out to eat. And I was like, I don't trust that shit. I don't trust that shit, bro. It's a setup. Nah, it wasn't a setup. She took me to Stinking Rose and shit, which is a fire-ass restaurant out here, man. Garlic on everything, all the seafood. But yeah, she took me out. She was like, you know, I apologize. But she also told me, too, she was like, but I also turned me on the way you was like, I don't give a fuck, kill me. I don't care. She was like, I fell in love at that very moment. And that's when I knew I wanted to be with you. I was like,
what?
Yeah, I was like, what? Is this a joke? And it wasn't a joke, bro. Like, I stood over. One night turned to 2 nights. 2 nights turned to 2 weeks. 2 weeks turned to 2 months. 2 months turned to 2 years. But it was just like, it just up to. But throughout that time, bro, you know how most people, they say, oh, she dates rappers like when they get a deal and uses all their money and that whole like whatever narrative. Like that's why I got upset when niggas try to say it about me because I was like, bro, little do y'all know, I only had 80 bands. I was broke, nigga. She was paying for everything. If anything, I was pushing P, nigga. I was like, she was paying for everything. I went to Iceland. I went to fucking Hawaii. I went like, nigga, I traveled places and didn't pay shit. You know what I mean? Like if there was shopping being done, nigga, she was like, what's your size? I was like, nah, I'm cool on that. Like I literally was like refusing gifts. Like she was always trying to pay for shit. She was very generous, very nice. Like actually, it was not what I thought it would be, what the media said it would be, but it was not like that. You know what I mean? The kids were always over there a lot. I tried to spend as much time with the kids. My daughter actually spent the summer there, got really tight with the kids and shit. It was real family oriented. There was no ratchet shit. So when the media tried to portray it as ratchet shit, it was kind of fucked up because that was during around the time with the whole like custody battle issue with Rob and visitation. It was a sensitive time. So I feel like that was also something being paid by the media or whoever her ops were, her oppositions, in order to make the situation look bad. Because they had her mom already bad-mouthing me, like, oh, someone who looks like that shouldn't be around the kids. But then when Kris Jenner, the wife, right, the mother, right, of them, spoke to the kids, she did the smart thing like grandmas would do, like, hi, how's the new guy? Like, how is he? Does he, is he a nice guy? Does he talk to you guys? Is he mean? Does he say anything to make you feel uncomfortable? Like, she asked all the right grandma questions, and the kids are like, he's awesome. He's great. He plays games with us. He cooks. Like, he has his daughter. Like, nothing but great things to say. So she was like, you can't just judge this guy by the way he looks. And when I heard that from the nannies talking, I overheard it. I was like, holy shit. Like, Kim's mom was asking about me, yo. Like, that's all I thought about. And I was like, that's crazy. And I was like, but the little kids represented. They held it down. They were like, nah, he's cool. We like him. Like, he's funny. Like, because I would just always, I like kids, bro. Try to be like there's a good spirit around them and shit. You know what I'm saying? So there was nothing bad that they could say about me. So I felt like it was a reach. It was a bit of a reach, maybe from some people, it could have been, who knows, it could have been Rob or somebody, it could have been the label, who knows who it could be, but someone paid for that fake news to happen. And that wasn't the case. Like the real reason was that like when I went to Hawaii, I partied so much and got drunk that they got me on the jet intoxicated. So I was with a leather jacket, hoodie. When I woke up the next day, I was hungover. I was not trying to be in Hawaii. I was like, look, I don't remember agreeing to come. I'm just going to go home if that's okay. You know what I mean? And that's all it was. It was a little like, no, I don't want you to leave. Don't go. And I'm like, I'll meet you back in LA. Don't worry. I get on my flight. I land in LA. I wake up the next morning. I'm seeing all this news. And I'm like, what? This isn't real. And then, yeah, people are thinking it's real. And I'm like, dude, what the fuck is all this bullshit, man? And now, and after that, unfortunately, we couldn't see each other, you know, because
so that led to the end of the relationship, basically, because of that.
Yeah, that happened. That ended us, you know, and that's the real reason. Why? It was really the reason why. Is because her kids came first, and I don't blame her. I understand that. But as a mother, I would too. Like, how do you beat that? The media and all the news talking this and all that. All you could do is say this, that didn't happen. I could say it too. But look at the way we look. You know, look at me too, Mr. like full of gimmicks, quote unquote. Like everything he does is a gimmick and a lie. And we can't believe him, you know. And then her, of course, she's gonna say anything in her defense. So it's a sticky situation to be in. You know, you're forced to have to choose your children over anything, and I respect her and commend her for that. But I've been invited over for like holidays, Thanksgiving. Like as people know, with the whole video with Coi Leray that went viral, we spent Thanksgiving at China's house and shit like that. But even that was people twisting shit. Me and Coi wasn't talking about nothing like wrong. It was Thanksgiving. People was cheering, talking about family. And she was giving me some like real advice. She was like, yo, if I could just keep it real, like a sister. I know I'm not your sister. I don't know you like that, but I'm seeing you tonight and you seem cool, like a genuine dude. Just like maybe you should stop the anti shit and don't feed into it a little. And that's when I had to break it down to her, like, yo, you don't understand. These labels got me by the balls, bro. Like they literally, like I understand the terminology of selling your soul, like, cause I feel like they got, like, I can't do shit, I can't breathe, I'm up to here. You know, I really vented to her. We had a cool moment. And she gave me some real ass like some words of wisdom and shit, because you know she comes from the industry side with her father and everything, so she has some real ass insight, bro, to give on that. You know what I mean? And it was just like, prove them wrong, nigga. You know, buckle down. Like, don't let them see you lit high. Like, don't let them see you in those moments. Don't post your depressed shit. Like, only post when you're up and lifted. Like, you got to start working on that now. Otherwise, niggas is never gonna take you serious. And that was on some nigga word of my mother. I bet you right. And she wasn't the only one telling me that. It was other people. But for someone like her, a stranger that don't, you know, is not my friend, she don't even really like me in real life, to still be genuine enough to tell me that. I look at that as confirmation and the universe trying to tell me something. And there was enough people that did that I was like, yeah, this is over with. Like, I can't do this. This is done.
So you and Coi never dated or anything? She was just like a
hell no. No, we was at a football game or something recently, and I went to go like, hey, hats off to you, congrats on all your success. And she looked at me, she was like, nigga, don't talk to me, and walked away. I was like, what did I do now? I was like confused. I was like, I don't know, but like, you know, women, they're really tough to understand. It's like a Rubik's Cube for me. I never get it.
Yeah, me either. So let's talk about my friend, my boy Bobbalam. I recently did a live stream with him. Some people saw it, whatever. But I meant to bring you up because I wanted to like kind of press him a little bit on his opinion of you. He was kind of saying that you stole Yeat's style in a couple of songs, and me and you kind of talked about that off camera, where you had a different view on that. So tell me about that. Like, do you feel like he kind of copied you? Because you were telling me about a song where he kind of took your flow. So explain that a little bit with the whole Yeat comparison for Bobbalam's.
Well, all right. Here's how this goes. There's a few artists that I think that, you know, they get influence from me, and that's cool. I've learned to just like not call it out like I used to back in the day, because that was what, you know, that's what people like. The labels really were like, you should really talk about that. I never was the type to care. To me, that's paying me a compliment, you know. And when I see you, I'll be like, I embrace you, because it's a way of like, you created your art by influence of my art, which is like expanding both of our art more to the universe. And I look at that as a positive way, but they've made it a negative thing. So it's almost like when someone copies you, or, you know what I mean, you have to be offended. But I don't think there's nothing wrong with being a copycat, as long as you copy the right cat. You know what I mean? Yeah. So with that being said, as humongous to God, a lot of people know I was using the like auto-tune really heavy on some more deeper shit, like using deep auto-tune. Like in my No Feels song and Look at Me Now, which are these songs where like Bob will be like, oh, he sounds like maybe a Yeat. That's because Bob's not educated on who Humongous the God is. You dig? So he's so much of Carti's like you know what I mean, that he don't know what the fuck's going on outside of that. You know, he only knows that world. And I've heard him explain that too, about that he don't really know all music because he really does Carti, Uzi, and you know what I mean, like these niggas. I feel like he almost recently figured out who Lancey is. And in my opinion, we wouldn't have Carti without Lancey. We wouldn't have a Thug without Lancey. I feel like Lancey is the originator of a lot of this shit and doesn't get his credit the same way I'm an originator of a lot of things and don't get mine. You know what I mean? And that's what I'll say about that. So I don't dislike Bob. I just feel like he's just in a different side of the algorithm. And maybe he did a little digging into me instead of like just his comment section, that he would actually be able to learn some shit and be like, holy fuck. You know, like Adam22, before Adam22 hated Kid Buu, a lot of y'all don't know this, he was a humongous The God fan. And we got screen recordings, we got receipts to this day when he would just randomly in the middle of his live just go gaga all over my photos, my trap star photos, like, oh, look at this guy, he's really from the streets. Look at him draped in Gucci, he wears masks, you know, he's probably committing crime, and man, his music's pretty good. Like, he's speaking that real raw street shit, you know, like it's funny because then like I look back, I'm like, nigga, do you not know I was that same nigga, HXTXG? Like, do you not know Kid Buu and him is the same person? And a lot of them don't, you know. But if you look back at that music, bro, it's really deeper auto-tune, which I got inspo from like Kanye, Travis Scott, like when it came to deeper auto-tune. I'm the type of person, I'm not afraid to say where I get my inspiration from. So had it been a Yeat song, I would have been like, yeah, I got some inspo from this Yeat kid. But no, I don't. And to be honest, bro, like, I don't think that will ever happen. I was really looking forward to this recent Afterlife shit. And I'm like, bro.
Go back to the drawing board.
Bro, like, I don't want to, my mama said, if you don't got nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. I don't know. Maybe that's something that I'm getting too old, you know, to understand. But those are, what I heard on that tape is shit that I delete. It's shit that, like, we do on a mic check. And it's mainly mumbling, but not intended to really be like mumble rap, but just straight actual, like, you know, with a few little, and I don't know, maybe that's, with that being said, that is something that is original within itself that he has. Yeah. So no, I won't copy that because I don't want to do that. I like being lyrical. I like having melody and being melodic. I like talking my shit and you hear what I'm saying. I don't like that. Like, I used to be on everybody too. I used to be on my Tweezy today and a honey bun. Like, if I want to, I could do that. You know what I mean? But I don't want to. So they miss me with that when they say that shit. Like, no, I don't. And Red Diamond, I made Red Diamond before a whole lot of Red came out, and I made it with my homie RX Peso, which is where Carti got the whole lot of Red concept from. So, like, I really be with real street niggas, real blood niggas too, bro. And I got some Crip homies too. But I really be around them sharing music. We share music. We share, like, fashion ideas, tips. That's the humongous The God shit. Like, the real close to the streets. Gizzard, you know what I mean? Like, Gizzard was a playoff of, like, Guwap. Like, when Guwap left and got locked up, Gizzard stepped up and was providing the streets with lean, you know, Mizop and all that shit. You know what I mean? So there's a history that people don't know. They really don't. But if Bob, and what's crazy is Bob is literally living now in the backyard that Humongous used to really, used to drill shit through, my nigga. Run shit that if you ever said 7 years ago, you said some crazy shit, niggas probably would have asked you if you were laced. Like, yo, you high right now, bro? Don't speak that shit too loud because you know Guala Gang is around here. Don't let one of them niggas hear you talking about him crazy like that. Because they'll come to snap your neck. And that's how niggas really used to ride for me, because I would put on for niggas, bro. I help niggas make money, bro. There was times when if my homie got locked up, I was dropping money off to his baby mom to feed his kid and shit. Like, I'm an honorable person. Always been like that. So I never understood when coming to Hollywood, a bunch of people who don't know you is going to be disrespectful to you. Because I was never used to niggas disrespecting me. Because anybody who did got dealt with. So when I seen that, I had to learn to just be like, I had to learn to Jesus, like, turn the other cheek. I really had to do that shit. I had to learn to just turn the fucking cheek, bro. Did I like it? No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
And I also want to point out some more similarities, which is crazy. I don't even know if you noticed this or not. You had a song called something Demon Wears Prada or something.
Demon and Prada.
And it's produced by Benny X, who's all over Afterlife.
All over Afterlife.
Benny X, for you guys who don't know, is a producer. I think he's associated with Working on Dying.
Working on Dying, yeah.
And Kid Buu worked with him 3 years ago. And now Yeat, his whole album is pretty much produced by Benny X.
You know what's fucked up too? I reached out to Benny, and this is before the Yeat album, of course, it's just dropped. But before all that, and a lot of people who follow me know I've been working on Pink Planet since 2017. There's been an album I've been speaking about that, and niggas been like, when is it gonna drop? It's gonna drop this year, independently through me only. But fucking Benny did that song originally for that project, and because of COVID, I just said, let's just put it out instead of waiting all these years, right? But we put it out during COVID. You know, like there wasn't much happening. Like literally, this was mid-COVID, Black Lives Matter marches, everything, right? Like niggas is not, you know what I mean? Like it was niggas' mindsets was on some other shit, you know. Yeah. And I do understand that there were some people who did come up out of that and became who they are today, especially this Yeat character. Speaking of somebody who really made his career during this time, but you got to understand, he had people like his manager that was calling favors to Drake to do, you know, follow him, take some pictures and shit, which led to everybody jumping on his bandwagon and start dick riding him. They don't know the inside shit. You know what I mean? I shouldn't even have gotten that deep into it because I told my homie I wouldn't speak about that. But yeah, like nigga, a lot of shit be favors y'all don't know about. And me, Humongous, don't never need no favor. I never had a handout. I do my shit by myself. You feel me? I earn my shit by myself. And if a nigga want to work with me and do something, it's because he wants to. I never pay a nigga. I never do that whole favor shit. I owe you later. Never been that type. So a lot of y'all that be dick riding a lot of other niggas, it be because of a favor. The artist or that person don't actually fuck with this person. They just did that to help them or help the person that's around them because they genuinely owe the person that's behind them. You know what I mean? And who knows? I may be in situations in the near future for that same reason. Maybe someone don't like me, but the owner of this festival is good buddies with my DJ. And, you know, they go to Temple together and they're buddies. So he's like, hey, look, you're working with this guy. Hey, bring him on this show. You know what I mean? It can go down that way. But with Benny, bro, like I reached out to him and was like, you know, let's work more. He said, I don't want to sell myself short. So I'm not really working with you. Well, right? That's like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean, my nigga?
Like so I think this. Your camera went out, bro. I don't know if you got to. Oh, there you go. You're back in. You're back in. You're out again. Can't see you or hear you.
Yeah, my bad, bro. I don't know why calls were able to come through. I thought we took off the cellular shit.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know how calls still just came through. That shit just got me mad tight. Because, like, if I ignore your call twice back to back,
why you calling
you're not like that? Yeah, that means fuck off. Yeah, like, and if it's really an emergency, dial 911. The fuck, I can't do shit for you. Like, what am I supposed to do? Like, fucking teleport there with a medic kit, nigga? Like, bruh. So Benny X was like, you know, like I don't want to sell myself short. So I really was like, you know, what the hell is that supposed to mean? Like you said, like, what the fuck does that mean? It almost sounds like a way to brush someone off, respectfully. Yeah. Like, so I he knows me, bro. He knows I got no hair on my tongue, and I'm quick to, like, right away. I'm the first. I'm like Krishan with words. Like, I'm quick. You say one wrong, like what? So when he said that, I stopped DMing because I have a feeling the next DM he's not gonna open it. He's just gonna peek at the words because he said his piece and he's just gonna back up. So I sent a voice note. So when niggas see me sending voice notes, they know I'm turning up on them in that voice note. I don't want nothing's gonna be taken out of context because I didn't text you. I'm speaking to you, voice note. So I told him, I said, yo, I'm not gonna hold you. That reaction sound kind of dodgy, bro. I bet you wouldn't have said that if I told you, yo, Benny, I got a song from this other producer. I got Uzi and Yeat on it, but I kind of want to remix it with you. That nigga's dick would have got hard. He would have been like, fix his glasses. Fix his fucking glasses and been like, oh yeah, send it through, man. Let's get right into it. That type of shit is like, bro, you a dick rider, bro. And it's like later, because I know what I got up my sleeve for this year, nigga. It's Kid Buu 2.0. Y'all niggas know if I want to turn the switch on and go viral, I'll do it. And I'm doing that this year, but I'm not doing it the way I think I'm doing it. I'm doing something different. And already I see a few rappers already trying to hit the same lane by showing themselves more, being more vulnerable with who they are as a person instead of this mysterious shit that niggas want to do, covering their face all the time and not showing themselves and saying much. I'm being honest. I'm being transparent. I'm going to say as much as possible because I got no hair on my tongue. Y'all getting me, the real me now, uncensored, because there's no control. There's no label controlling me. There's no one controlling me. I'm a free spirit, free soul now, so to speak. Free agent. I can do what I want, say whatever the fuck I want. You know what I mean?
So one thing about you I noticed is you're always kind of ahead of the curve, especially with producers. You're always working with producers before they get hot. How did you originally come across Benny? Like, how did y'all first meet? How did you even like get that demon track? Like, how did y'all
street shit, bro? I already know niggas out here in the streets from way from the jump, bro, from day one, and they all work together. These niggas are like peas in a pod, bro. So like Ben Jane, you know Ben Jane, he produced Plug Talk with Rich the Kid and Kendrick and all that shit. Yeah, so that's the homie. That's my boy, bro. Like, he's the guy that, all right, some of y'all viewers probably don't know. They're probably going to Google. I'm going to stop you right there. He's the octopus guy that went viral on TikTok. I was like, octopus living in the center of the earth with the green braids. That kid, that's Ben Jane. He's a musical genius. Fucking, he introduced me to, in his house, you meet mad people, bro. You meet random artists, like you might run into the fucking designer one day, like just randomly. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you doing here? You know? Then you run into like Baby Golf another day. Like, oh, I know you underground. Like, what the fuck? So he works with underground, mainstream. Like, you know, and with producers, the same thing. And then he also works with another buddy of mine called Nabil. It's a damn Nabil, and Nabil is the one that does all of Matt Ox's shit. He's done some shit for Yeat. Ski Master Slump God, that word is the bird is the word. That new shit that's popping on TikTok with Ski, that's my man's produced that shit, Nabil. That's my homie too from Florida, bro. Like years ago, way back. And I met him through Swamp Posse, which is my boy Sky XXX, which is like the OGs for that whole very rare members only and XXXTentacion. Like we were the OGs to those young kids in Florida. You feel me? So that's how I really know them, is through that whole young crowd. So us South Florida niggas really stay connected and throughout years and always share resources or friends. They always introducing. Like we don't ever break apart. Florida niggas really stay united, bro.
Florida, baby, you already know.
Yeah, Florida man.
But I also wanted to, while we're on the subject of producers, I wanted to point this out as well. You also worked with what's that guy's name?
Ronnie J.
No. Well, yeah, I know you worked with him. He was on Uzi's Eternal Take. Bugs Ronan.
Oh, Bugs.
Bugs Ronan. You also worked with him.
I also had him as an in-house producer. He lived in the Majid Mansion as well. And
y'all kind of got into a squabble. Can you talk about that?
Yeah. Bugs, I'm sorry. But I mean, we already posted this shit. He already hates me for it. And I know because we already quote unquote squashed it, but when I followed him, he ain't following me back. He's afraid that maybe Uzi will unfollow him or something. That's the thing. I love Bugs, but he cared too much about what these other artists think about him, bro. And you know what I mean? It's like, bro, I felt like we was real friends, nigga. So fuck what these niggas think about you. Like, you know what I mean? Like, just stay solid, bro. Yeah, just stay solid. But like, that's how Uzi got my Chicken Soup song that I did with him too. Like, and a lot of shit that I was doing, I couldn't help but notice that like Uzi would have something that sounds like it, or it would genuinely just be the beat, and then Bugs like sold it to Uzi and then didn't give it to me. And it's like a favoritism thing, you know, like amongst friends. And I was just like, I get you got to get your paper, bro, but like if you know this nigga don't like me, then like why not try to be the peacemaker to figure out what the fuck's going on? Because at the end of the day, nigga, this is hip hop, bro. We're supposed to be building each other up as brothers, bro, not breaking each other down. And this is the whole era that this shit is. It's like everybody wants us to beef with each other and kill each other off, and then the DA want to use our lyrics to indict us and lock us up and shit. And it's like, bro, this is not hip hop, bro. Like I came in this shit trying to make money, keep it business, and be respectful. But when niggas started getting disrespectful with me, I was like, I can play that game too. What's up? Which was wrong of me at that time. Being older, I shouldn't have acted as immature. I should have acted like the big bro, the OG, and just really kept calm and shit. Because you can't shake hands with a closed fist, you know? Like, so I needed to be different, and I wasn't at the time. I would just like, fuck you then, nigga. Oh yeah, that's how it is? I bet. You know, let's go step in the ring then, fight for 3 minutes. I really like that. You know what I mean? honestly, like I really don't regret nothing because I was able to see myself in a lightness that I don't want to be anymore. I've learned to see the ignorant version of myself that knows how to fumble shit in situations because I could have handled it better with that. You know what I mean? The same way with the Nav situation, I could have handled it better. Things didn't have to get so hot and heavy the way it did. You know, same thing with Trippie and Juice. Like things didn't have to get hot and heavy the way it did. If I just like didn't stoop to that level and lose my temper and just talked off camera with shit. But at that time, I had too much pride. I was like, I'm not about to let a nigga do this to me. I'm a grown ass man. These are fucking kids and all this shit behind closed doors. I can't let this happen. You know, so I'm gonna speak my shit. I'm gonna talk my shit. But learning now, I'm different now. I'm the type that I keep my friends close and enemies super close now. So it's like if somebody does some snaky shit to me, I'm not gonna do the whole like, you know, punish them and shit like that. I'm gonna be like, how can I now this person knows what they did. Now that I lended you something, you in bondage to me. Like how you gonna make this work between me and you? You know what I mean? Behind closed doors.
So at the time, didn't you say with Bugs like we got to step in the ring and like or like fake boxing or something, and then like
yeah, we put on the gear and shit like that. We started sparring and going at it, and I felt bad. I really was gonna hold back and shit, but I lost my temper.
You didn't hold back, did you?
Yeah, who the fuck is at my door? Hold on.
Okay. Hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Kid Buu. I guess somebody's at his door.
Man, I got an old lady as a neighbor, and sometimes, you know, she has what's the dementia. So sometimes she'll come to the door and like, you know, sometimes I'll talk to her like, you know, but it's always about something from like the year like 19 something, you know what I mean? And I don't know who I remind her of and shit. I remind her of somebody, so she'll come and she'll talk to me and she'll be like, it's happened again. We have a problem. And I'll be like, there's no way, Miriam. And I was like, we have to really get to the bottom of this, don't we? Because this is, no, this is becoming absurd. So I go along with it sometimes, but right now I can't. I'm in the middle of this. Sometimes I go along with it. I just looked at the door. I'm like, I can't do it right now.
You got a really
sweet old lady, man.
You got a good heart. Sounds like you treat her like with a lot of respect, you know.
Yeah, because I couldn't imagine that, bro. Like I'm like, and a lot of people may be even too young to even try to even want to go down that that path to imagine this. But imagine you being old and losing like your sense of mind of where you're at and what year it is, and you know that's scary, bro. That's really scary, man, to be going through that. You know, we all very far from that shit. But imagine, nigga, another 50 years from now that start happening here. That's why that why now I don't do none of that shit no more. Like I learned that like doing like the drugs and partying, like all these chemicals and blacking out really destroys your consciousness, and in the future, in the long run, is when that plays these type of effects. Because look at people who don't do those shits. Like I'm pretty sure this old lady wasn't fucking turning up like crazy. Half the drugs that we have now didn't even exist in her time, but it still happened to her hereditarily. So shit, yeah. I'm trying to like weigh out the best options for me. You know, I play memory games. I try to be as keen as possible, drink a lot of water, and meditate a lot. But I don't want to be losing sight of who I am, my consciousness. That's a scary thing, bro. So yeah, when she comes to the door, I'll entertain it sometimes and help her out and shit.
Yeah. So speaking of like drug use, you during like back when you were going viral like crazy, you were doing drugs at that point, right? I know you stopped now, but
yeah, I was doing a lot of drugs, bro. I was popping Percocets. I was putting coke in my weed, bro. Like I was snorting coke. I was drinking lean. I was taking mushrooms. I was smoking DMT every day to visit that being on the other side, and it would give me advice and guidance. Like I was on some, bro. I was losing it, dude. You know, I was losing the grip of my sense of reality and shit. And unfortunately, I hit a point where I overdosed, and a lot of people.
What happened with that?
I overdosed. I know. But, is it pretty much your arms stiff up, you foam out the mouth and convulse? But no, this was the day before Juice Wrld died, and that was even more upsetting because, you know, when he left, we weren't on good terms, and clearly I had no animosity towards him, but I was just so angry that he was choosing sides that anybody who was on that side, it was fuck you. I just wish that it wouldn't have been that way. You know what I mean? Which is why now I have also the other mindset of kind of like just letting bygones be bygones and just moving forward with things, squashing shit while people are still here. Because I don't want that more people pass away and we left on some bad blood. I'm not the type to be like, yeah, let's piss on that nigga's grave. Let's roll up my op and smoke my op. Like, that shit just sounds stupid to me, bro, realistically. So I've never been that. I really regretted that shit. And then also, too, like, think about it. If I died the day before he died, it's kind of like they say, don't drop your album the day Drake drops because no one's going to listen to you. They're going to be streaming Drake. I couldn't even drop Dead around Juice WRLD because even I know, like, he would have been more mourned than I would have. Especially me at that time. I was the most hated. So it would have been like, haha, that villain died. Oh my God, RIP Juice, long live Juice. You know, so even that was upsetting to me. I feel like at that point, I was like, nigga, you let you down. You lost respect for yourself, nigga. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? Like, really, like, what the fuck are you doing? What if you did go all the way out and crash out like this, bro? This would be the last thing people remember you by on some, like, ODB, like, rest in peace. But, like, and I say ODB because, you know, he blew a lot of his money getting high and then ended up having an accidental overdose. But he was a legend in music, you know? Wu-Tang Clan, bro, did shit niggas didn't do. They were setting trends. They were the first to do a lot for hip hop. And to the idea that I could have went out like one of those, I was like, nah, I ain't doing this. So I left the scene for real, bro. I was like, man, they drove me to do all this. Fuck the label. Fuck this control shit. I'm getting out. I'm getting clean. I'm fucking exercising. I'm respecting me. And I'll get back to music when I feel like I'm mentally back right there. When I'm making it for me again, like I used to as Humongous before this Kid Buu shit. Because as Humongous, it was a way for me to vent. You know, it was a way for me to like just like get everything off my chest and be me. And I want that again, you know. So that's what this whole Pink Planet is about. That's what Thank You for Not Believing in Me is about too. It's like, nigga, thank you for not believing in me. Now that you see shit vamping out on 2.0 Boo, you want to swing back around. Keep that same energy, nigga. Keep that same energy. Because I don't want you coming around with that shit. I don't want you will not hear me drop no Benny X shit. Because I'm that type of nigga. I'm not gonna be like that's not a bygone be bygone thing. That has nothing to do with that. I don't hate him. I'm not gonna fight him when I see him. You know, respectfully, like, okay, you're a human, I'm a human. You live your space, I live mine. But do I want to break bread with you? No, I don't want to break bread with you. I don't want to sit and dine at you at the same table because you're not someone who genuinely respects me and my art. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like he's choosing like a more popular, bigger rapper when if it was me, like I would always be working with my homeboys no matter what, no matter how big I got. Like I'm not leaving anybody behind, and it kind of sounds like he was like leaving you behind it in a way.
Yeah.
Fuck
Yeah.
you.
And not just him, a lot of people did it to me, you know, like Bugs did it, Ronnie J did it, you know, and it's like it's whatever, bro. That's why now I got my team and my producers now that I'm working with. These songs coming out now is my niggas, bro. I don't even want to say their names because I don't want these rappers to go running over their dick riding. And what's crazy is these niggas is real. So a few of them got placement on Uzi's new album already. I done heard them. They got Carti ones that I haven't heard, not even muffled versions, because he's just keeping it down packed with the leaks. It's getting too crazy now. But he got placement with Carti on newer music. You know what I mean? We have conversations about this. He still will send me beats first. So I even have producers that like produce for Carti, Uzi, and so like Bugs. They would give me the scraps. They'll go have this session with Uzi, whatever is left over. Here you go, boo. And I could tell it's scraps. I could tell it's their like throwout or throwaways. These kids that I work with right now do not do that shit, bro. They make something right there on the spot. They send it to me. What do you like? You like this? If not, I'll send it to Carti. I'm like, nah, I want first dibs. I'm gonna fuck that up. And if I feel like I don't like my version of what I made, then you can send it to them. But I like that they give me first choice. They respect me. They like me as an artist. So that's why I'm gonna work with them.
Are these guys based in the US or are they like overseas or?
Overseas. I got a nigga in France, Germany. Like they spread out. It's a collective group. I called them Pink Planet.
I know you dropped a new song today or last night called Tusi.
Yeah.
Are you able to? Do you want to say who produced that, or do you want to keep that under wraps right now?
It's the same. It's the same producers in Pink Planet. Like that's them too. Like, so that's what I'm saying. Like people will see this work. So if they go and see who in the production credit, y'all can read and find out who it was exactly. But you're gonna get familiar. You're gonna get real familiar because Carti dropping a lot of shit with the same producers that I've been working with, and Uzi too, dropping a lot of new shit. You know what I mean? And Meek Mills, like, bro, they work with a lot of big artists too. And they'll tell me about it, but they'll be like, bro, like, really, I started producing because of you, boo. So I'm never gonna, lose sight of that, bro. Like, you the big homie right now. Like, I respect you. I love you like a brother. I sit and have conversations with these guys. Like, I pick up their phone when they call me, bro, and treat them like family. I really build a bond, and that's not nothing different from what I gave Bugs and these niggas, because I did treat them like family.
Yeah, and didn't you also work with Molly Wrld, who's his other producer too?
Yeah, he's cool. He's cool as fuck. He never did me no weird shit, nothing like that. He's cooler than the motherfucker.
So y'all still talk? Do y'all still work together a little bit too?
We're not working together right now. I kind of like I said, I wanted to find new producers, new talent, like who are gonna be the Molly Rawls of tomorrow, the Bugs Running up tomorrow. You know what I mean? Who are gonna be these guys, the Filthy even up tomorrow? Like who are gonna be these gentlemen up tomorrow? And those are the ones I want to work with now. Because then I'm a major piece in their story and their legacy that they'll leave behind. Like, you know what I mean? Like I'm first chapter.
That's true. And by the way, guys, listen, if you haven't heard it yet, Kid Buu's new song Tusi is fire. For those of you who don't know what Tusi is, look it up. Pink cocaine. He's the first rapper I've heard rap about this drug. Now I know they do it overseas, like in the Spanish community, it's really big, like over in Colombia and stuff. But in America, in the US, first rap about Tusi. Have you heard another one, Buu?
Nah.
So watch. I bet you anything you're gonna hear Playboi Carti or something on his next album rap about Tusi. Watch.
Probably. I hope too that their audio is okay. I don't know if it's maybe my AirPods are dying, but it started skipping a bit. So I want to make sure. I don't know. It's still good. You can hear me good?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So I didn't ask you this at the beginning. I think you've answered this before publicly, but what's your ethnicity? Are you half white, half Spanish?
I'm Puerto Rican.
Puerto Rican and white.
Yeah, my family got Jamaican descent too on my dad's side.
And
he's also half Puerto Rican too, so Puerto Rican, nigga. You feel me?
And you say nigga in your music. Have you caught any flack for like not being black and like saying nigga? Because I had a video go viral for asking.
Nigga, I'm black. The fuck?
But how would you feel like if a white rapper said that? Like, would that bother you, or like you don't give a fuck?
I'm tripping about that shit, bro. Honestly, I'm not one of them to be tripping about that shit because I got a song coming out called My White Boy, right? Mm-hmm. That could be the same thing as a white guy coming out with a song, My Nigga.
That's true.
Okay, so I'm gonna do it. They gonna do it. It's for people. It's up for other people to politic about. You know what I'm saying? But again, music and hip hop, bro, it should be like this uncensored place of where you can be able to vent and speak freely. If this nigga, let me just say it like this: if this white nigga grew up in the hood. You feel me? And other hood niggas know him for being the white nigga in the hood. At the end of the day, they referring to him as the white nigga. So yeah. Why can't he come out with a song that's the white nigga? Like you know what I'm talking about? And just rapping like I'm the white nigga in the hood. I'm like y'all calling him that? Like what the fuck? But if I feel like if somebody who is a country artist and used it in like a derogatory humorous for his form of humor, I clearly know what he's doing. You might as well just drop the hard ER, bro. You're being funny, you're being stupid. But also too, I know niggas in Florida that do that same shit, that drop the hard ER, black guys to their white friend and vice versa, or call their white friend cracker. And people think like there's nothing. He'll be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know how too far to get you demonetized, but you know what it is out there, you know?
100%.
So I grew up around that shit being thrown so loosely that I don't look at it as like that. Like if you drop hard ER though, like I've been called that too. Like I was a kid, like, you know, these guys drove by with Confederate flag in a truck and lit me up with frozen paintballs and called me a sand nigger. Like I never heard that term ever, and I was like. I asked my mom, and she goes, "Don't worry, you're Puerto Rican. You're not that type of nigga." She said, but she clarified. She's like, "You're some type of nigga, but you ain't that type of nigga." So, and that's when I thought to myself as a child. I was like in 4th grade at the time. Like, so there's many forms of nigga. Like, what the hell? Like, what type of nigga are you? Like, you know, like it was one of those. Like, I was confused. I was like, wait, so what kind of nigga am I? Like, what the hell is this?
Oh my goodness, that's hilarious. Yeah, people wanted me to ask that question because I had that video where I asked why Yeat doesn't say it. And that's another thing about
That right there, you made a powerful point though, because it's like you faking the funk at that point. Because if you say it in real life, say it in your music.
Yep.
Don't give like my hitter. That's corny as fuck.
Yep.
Are you making? Does this not say explicit at the bottom of your album, or does it not?
Mm-hmm. It's like
So
these
why are
white
you
rappers,
censoring?
yeah, these white rappers will take like all the like things about being a rapper, like guns, I do drugs, I do all this, but they won't say nigga because they feel like, oh, I can't go that far. Well, then your music's not authentic because I know you're rapping to that shit when you hear the new Kid Buu song. You know what I mean? Like, they're not being authentic in the music, and that's one of the things I was calling you out for. You know?
I feel like there's other artists too. Echo, test. No, I don't know what the fuck going on. I keep hearing like an echo feedback when we talk. It's like it's weird. It's bugging me out.
But yeah, like even Post Malone, he's white, right? And he got caught saying nigga on an old video, and he had to apologize for that shit. It's like, but it's okay for him to talk about like fucking bitches, doing drugs and all that shit. But it's just, it's like that industry politics thing you were talking about earlier. Like it's just.
It's industry politics. But I also feel like too, maybe that could be also a managerial call. They're like, look, you could be mistaken to be white. They may not know that you this race and this race or whatever be the case. And you probably don't want to be doing that because that's gonna be hard for us, especially like after you had Drake co-sign you and so I can see from if it's business, I get it. You know what I mean? I guess I get it. But then you're right when you say that. If you do it that way towards business and sacrifice a bit of authenticity, then at the end of the day, sacrificing authenticity means it's not 100% authentic.
I just, the chat is telling me that it's mine doing the echoing thing. They're saying my mic's going crazy. I don't know.
Do you have headsets on?
No.
Put headsets on. It's the echo.
Should I get headsets?
Yeah.
I don't think I have any like handy. Is it still doing it?
Yeah. Try it. Let's see. Mute your mic and I'll talk and let's see if it still does it. Yo. Is the chat saying that they still hear the echo? Because I got the headset on. Well, I mean, now I can't hear you because you're muted, but
it wasn't doing it earlier though, was it?
No, not earlier. It just started now, out of nowhere.
Yeah, they said it's crackling like crazy.
You want to do two-part? You could restart the stream, do a two-part stream.
You want to start another one?
Yeah, we could.
All right, let me stop this and I'll go on my regular webcam and get off the phone. It might be the phone.
Okay.
All right, let me just leave and come back in. I'll be back in a second. You can see it.
You sound like damn Yeat's ad-libs.
All right, I'll be back. Hold on.
What up, chat? I want the rest of the energy like this. Yo. I want the rest of the energy like that. You know what I think is funny? If we still here, chat. I don't know, we streaming still. But I think it's funny how a lot of rappers just a year ago, everything slack. Now that y'all know motherfuckers is getting indicted for being a part of the YSL, y'all pretty fucking quiet. I haven't heard one motherfucker say slat on his song since this whole shit been going down. So once it's all said and done with and all this shit is closed out, I don't want to see y'all niggas saying slat no more, bro. Because slat is slime love all the time, not just when trial is done, okay? Did you hear the first part? You tuned away. Nah, you tuned away. So I don't know if we were still live. Are we live?
Yeah, we've been live the whole time.
Okay, cool. I was just telling the people, I was like, bro, I noticed a year ago, every rapper, even if they were not YSL, was yelling slat on every song. And since the trial, it's been real quiet. I haven't heard one slat. Not one snot of a sneeze of a slat. Not a pitch of temper. I didn't hear not one. So I don't want to hear niggas talking about slat when the trial is all said and done with, bro. I'm gonna be calling y'all out. I won't call y'all in public. I'm gonna call y'all in your DM. You know what I mean? Mr. Voice Note. I'm gonna make sure you heard it. You can't peek at the shit.
Once you said like way back in the day, I think I heard you say that like years ago.
Yeah, niggas say slap for a long time, bro. It's been a street thing. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I think I heard that before Doug even started saying it.
Yeah, it's a good new subject, bro. It's trying to get me indicted.
So is the mic okay now? Am I still
echoing? Yeah, you're good. You're not echoing.
All right, cool. So let's talk about this internet character named Charleston White. Have you heard about him?
A few times. I don't know what he is. Is he like a rapper that got out of prison or something, or who is he? He just talks shit.
He just talks shit, and
he's just like a 6ix9ine minus the rap.
Yeah, like a provocateur, basically. Yeah.
Okay. A troll.
So, I don't know if you heard recently. You know how Takeoff got killed from the Migos and everything.
Yeah, I know. I don't know how the details and all the stuff behind it. I know he was killed. Rest in peace, Takeoff.
Yeah, R.I.P. Takeoff. You had a song with him.
Yeah, my bro. He the reason why I started rapping. He told me, he's like, bro, you need to be a rapper, bro. You really got this life. You live this life these niggas live. Got the cars, the drip, all this shit. He like, you really need to really do this shit. Really turn this shit the fuck up. And I was like, I like really started taking shit into consideration. But his voice was in the back of my mind when I first started filming more videos and shit and wanting to do music, you know. That's why I reached out to him. Like, hey, you want to do a song then, nigga? Let's do a song together.
Is that how you met him? You reached out to him and said, hey, I want to get you on the song?
Nah, I met him because I used to slang guns and drugs. So like I would sell shit to niggas in the street. So like, you know, niggas can't fly with guns. Migos ain't no niggas that's finna be without it, or at least their security ain't. So, you know, I'll provide certain shit. Or I will be the nigga with a gun in the club with them. I'll sneak it in and shit and just be the nigga that, you know, make sure if somebody move funny, I'm the one that pull out and shoot a nigga in the kneecap of a nigga. You know. And then also too, like drugs and shit. Like I was dealing drugs, you know, rappers like perks and lean and shit.
Were you doing like a lot or just like a little hustling here?
Nah, I didn't do nothing back then. Nah, I just sold. I didn't do nothing back then. Back then, I just smoked a little weed and then dabble a little Hennessy.
I mean, the amount you were selling, like nickel and diamond here and there? Or were you like?
No, it wasn't. No, it was a lot. We're talking keys on keys, birds, big birds.
And that's kind of how you had all the money before rap, right? That's how you
before rap. That's how I had money to invest into the companies I had prior to. So like I did do a little bit of shit and then, you know, invested that money and then went clean, you know, and stopped, you know, dirty shit. But I still had like ways to get stuff. So whenever my friends, you know, was in town, like they needed something, rather than them going and dealing, being shy or robbed or some fuck shit, I'll just go hit up some people that I used to deal with back in the day and be like, hey, you still rocking with some shit? Come pick something up. You know, and they wouldn't even charge me, to be real. Just like, hey, nah, nigga, you cool, come through, it's yours. And, you know, grab a little bit. Because I wasn't, at that point, like, you know what I mean? Like, Quavo probably pop a perk or two. He wasn't doing too much crazy. And Takeoff just wanted some weed. That was it. Maybe some drink from time to time. But he ain't like the rubber tussing. That shit give him diarrhea. I remember he rapped about this shit. I was laughing, bro. I was crying laughing because I knew what he was talking about because we had just talked about that shit. He like, I don't sit me the rubber tussing, give me bubble guts. I was like, boy, that shit do, bro, because the Qualitas was rubber tussing. Sorry to a lot of y'all niggas, boy, but them Qualitas 8-ounce bottles was not real, nigga. I was finessing niggas, bro. I used to finesse the fuck out of these niggas.
You cut it, didn't you? Like mix it up.
Cut it, nigga. Cut it. I used to just put that bitch in a whole printer label out and slap that bitch on and rip the rubber tussing label and put that bitch. Nigga, it was no science, nigga. It was no science to it. Literally, we used to clear that bitch out, bro. I used to hire people to go shop and buy the DM Extra Max, bro. The 8-ounce didn't exist. I even made fake mom and pop like pharmaceutical websites as landing pages because I knew about landing pages. So it'll be like, it'll look like a pharmacy company, like, you know what I mean, that it has medicine and shit. So I would just mirror another account, like an actual pharmacy page. So we'll upload all the medications. And when it came down to the page where the coding and Qualitas was, I would just add the images, my stock images that we took professional photos, white backdrop, everything. They look super real. So if somebody were to like get my bottle on the street, what they would do, I'm gonna Google and see what the real one looked like to see if this looked like the real one. There is no real 8-ounce. But the Google image would pop you up to a pharmaceutical website that had the real 8-ounce, but that was a website I created as a landing page with my stock images of the same bottles I'm finessing you with.
Oh shit! How did you figure out how to do that? You just kind of researched it?
Nah, I already knew about that shit because, like I said, I was selling stuff online. So I would do Amazon, fidget spinners, hoverboards. Like I was selling shit, silly band, nigga, whatever was popping here online, I was already selling, and I was doing affiliate marketing for other companies too. So before there was such a thing as being an influencer for social media, I was already getting products and discount codes from companies as a nobody, with the hopes and promises of driving more traffic and sales and receiving a commission based off my hyperlink. Same thing I did with Fashion Nova as an influencer in other companies, but this as a nobody, literally. It's called affiliate marketing. Before it was influencing, it's called affiliate marketing. So for those of you watching, you don't have to have clout to receive free products and make money like in person with 5 million followers, because most companies have an affiliate marketing program if you just reach out and ask them. You know, they'll create your own hyperlink. And what you do to drive traffic to that website using your link, you would create landing pages. So I don't know if you guys ever looked at, like, wanting to know what's the top 10, I don't know, workout protein shake, you know, or what's the best pill to take for male libido. You know what I mean? Like, and I created tons of those for boner sites because they would pay me to create landing pages at that point. I did all sorts of internet work. So what I would do is create a page that says, like, this is the 10th best supplement. This is the 8th best supplement. And then, of course, like, not the number one, but like the top, like the second I would do, because people don't really buy the first most one. They typically buy the second to the best, which is weird. But that was what my reports, my algorithmic reports would show.
Yeah.
So I would always put it as a second best. And also because it's more affordable and it's compared to the best, it really does the same thing. Like, people always buy the great value version. You know what I mean? It's a great value. So I would do that. Oh, my palms are itching talking about money. So I would do that, and then that would drive traffic for these, you know, for these products. People would Google, like, what's the best protein shake, and then read this article, and then be like, oh shit, and click it, and it'll take them to the page, and they'll buy it. But how did they get there? Through the link that they saw in this article. What is the link in the article? My hyperlink. So when they shop, who gets the commission? I do. You know, so I was doing shit like that. And then when I was doing the street shit, like finessing niggas, I was like, wait, I low-key could make something that doesn't exist. And this was around the time activists got banned. So the streets were dry. Clearly there's no act. This means Qualitas is next up in Morton Grove. And nigga, I mean, Alibaba's a motherfucker. Dude, I can say with fully confident, I'm the reason why today you can go on Alibaba and find these replica lean bottles and the fake labels that niggas are using to finesse nowadays. And the reason why I say that is because 9 or 10 years ago, a lot of you were just kids, fucking, you know, sitting in your parents' room, sticking boogers on your wall. I was out there making millions off this shit, like really doing this shit, bro. And the China companies were not making labels for the Qualitas because legally it belongs to a pharmaceutical company. So they would be like, I can't print this for you because this is not your company. So what I did was I created websites and business emails and business numbers to look like Qualitas. But like Qualitas pharmaceuticals would be slightly misspelled. So they wouldn't notice it. They would look, and I'm emailing them from a corporate. I'm like, CFO, such and such. I'm not going to say the name, but it'd be a female who was not real. This is an AI, so to speak. You know what I mean? It's not a real person. And I would email them. I'm the CFO of this. Our company had a great flood of our headquarters here in Tallahassee. They look it up. Qualitas, where's it at? Oh, shit. Oh, there's a place over there. Oh, and there was bad weather. There was a flood. Oh, man, this is good money for company. We do label for you. So they think I'm Qualitas. They started printing in demand. And now, I don't know why. Now, I guess it's very common. They just make them and they call it label, cough syrup label. But back then, they weren't doing it. They were shook to do it. And I had to entice them, you know what I mean, to get these labels by mass quantity. But when I say I was ordering tens upon thousands of labels, there was not a World Star video or a rapper flexing that he was the plug that I did not see my same 8-ounce bottles. And I would just laugh. As a matter of fact, Desto Dub's little viral video where he's coughing on the hood of the cop car, which was also fake. It was for a music video set. He later revealed. But those bottles that too were on the hood came from, you know, they came from my side.
And it was all fake. All the lean that you were selling.
All that shit was rubber testing. So niggas, so many niggas in the generation, like 10 to 12 years ago, was sipping rubber testing, bro. They were robo tripping.
Damn. Have you ever tried real lean at any point?
Yeah, I tried it, but literally, like, what is it? You sip on something that makes you drowsy and fall asleep.
Exactly.
Which is what I had learned when I invented legal lean, which was a way for me because I was so familiar with like how to do this labeling the bottles. I was like, bro, why don't I create a legal version? Like instead of doing this, like why don't I make something? So I literally, it took me like 8 months, 6 months to get my patent after 2 months of 2 months of fucking like researching like herbs and supplements like kava kava, melatonin, skullcap extract, late reactive B12, like St. John's wort. Like I researched all of these natural sleep aid formulas and put them together and patent a formula called Legal Lean. That's one word. And that is when I launched my company, Legal Lean, and I went public. Within 3 months, we were in over 50 retail stores. Like I went from being small time in my fucking garage to having a warehouse and fucking with a staff of over 50 people, and we're producing 250,000 bottles a week in and out of this motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like we made it. At that point, it was like I made it. You know, and I didn't have to trap or do none of that dumb shit. I'd take that money, I'd start car rentals. I'd buy cars, put them on Turo. I'd get jet skis, put them out for renting. You know what I mean? I'd go get a crib. I'd put it on the little Zillow and all the renting type of things like that. No credit, no deposit, no problem. Everyone needs a first time home. We understand that we're equal housing, equal opportunity housing. You know what I mean? So I had companies that were doing this type of shit. But my problem was I was not paying taxes. That's where I fucked up. Yeah, that's where I fucked up. And then Legal Lean ran across issues because someone started bootlegging it and putting a harmful chemical in there that causes temporary blindness. And unfortunately, there was some issues where a fifth grader, he had some issues, and Black Panthers were raging that they were going to burn down shops that would sell it. And the Fox News hit it. BET News was talking about it. And I was like up against the ropes. Like, there's no way that I can, I've never been up against a corporate issue like this, let alone something that is up against big pharma. And my mom warned me. She was like, it's going to be a big problem because when I launched my company, the children visiting hospitals for opiate overdoses dropped 15% in the first year of my company being out. I had parents that were buying Legal Lean as stocking stuffers for kids and saying, we thank you for this product. We understand what it is. The same way we would not frown upon our kid eating a Flintstones gummy vitamin and saying that they're eating candy is the same way we feel about this. As long as our kid drinks it right before bed at home, these are nothing but vitamins, even some vitamins that I myself take to go to sleep as an older woman. But I'm just grateful that my son is spending the holidays with us for the first time in 4 years rather than a rehab. This was a real letter I got from my mom, and I remember I printed it out and I framed it, bro, because I was like, this is what I'm doing my work for, is to help others, bro, because kids at the end of the day were sipping lean, not to be like, oh, I want to do liquid heroin. No one says that. You sound stupid. They do it because they hear a rapper talking about it. So they try it, they indulge, and don't realize how highly addictive opioids are and get hooked to it. And then it's a liquid. It's damn near impossible to eye out and measure. And then the way kidneys process liquid, you can drink a 4 ounce tonight, pass out, you wake up early, you hit the studio, you pour another 4, not realizing it hasn't been much hours since your last 4, and then you're going to pour another. You're wondering why you're fucking overdosing. Plus, you're popping pills that are the same opioid that's in the drink. You know what I mean? And this is why a lot of these like artists are having seizures and fucking dying on this shit. So I just wanted to create something that was like easily accessible, no age limit, because vitamins don't have an age limit. And the way I packaged it was a problem with the FBI DAA because I was emulating a drug, supposedly, allegedly, which I'm not. I made no claims. So my lawyer's like, he didn't make any claims to cure or fix anything, but I got hit with cease and desist letters from activists, Qualitas, Teva Pharmaceuticals, you name it. There was not a pharmaceutical company that did not try to sue me at that time for millions, bro. I was like in real legal issues, and I was fucking like under 25 years old. I was like, I don't even think I was like 25 yet at that time, bro. So I didn't know how to react to this type of shit, you know what I'm saying? And at that time, I was like, bro, the only thing I could do is just like buckle down here. But when I started seeing like white vans driving around, and it was making me paranoid and shit, and like certain bank accounts were telling me that I had to close out my bank because I couldn't bank with them no more, and they wouldn't give me reasons to. And they thought I was laundering money. One bank manager had told me. So I was going through a lot of like legal and financial issues with these bureaus, these branches and stuff. So now I'm thinking, how the fuck am I going to cash my checks? Where can I go to bank? I'm running out of options here. You know what I mean? And once I really knew, once one of my houses got hit and raided, and then the warehouse got hit, I was out of the country undetected within 18 hours, bro. And that was when I would be 2 years out of the country. Started in Canada and would hit other countries from Paris to Germany to wherever, fighting this case outside of the United States to prove that that wasn't my company that was making the bootlegs. And I did clear my name on that. And like I said, I had to make peace with the tax shit. But that was a long battle, man, that I went through. And people don't know that. And it's like, bro, I didn't leave to Canada because of some dumbass, like, people think I like beat up a kid or something. And that's that because the white girl said that. I don't fucking know. I know when I was younger, I had a violation of probation for smoking weed and got locked up for charges that I had 2 years prior to that I was on probation for robbery by sudden snatch because I took bruh's phone, smashed that shit, and was like, you're not calling no fucking police, bro. And I threatened him. I was like, if you go to fucking court and testify against my mans, I'm gonna come see you. And you see my face, nigga, so you already know what time it is. Like, I was that, you know what I mean? I was that type of nigga. Other people, because he was afraid to prosecute him because I threatened and intimidated him, other people were witnesses that I threatened him. So the state of Florida then picked up the charges. I gave them more issues. I disrespected the judge in court, right? They denied me visitations from families and shit and no bond. I disrespected the judge of the court on some suck my dick, da-da-da. That fucked me because now the state was like, you want to play disrespectful? We can play disrespectful because although you were 18 when that happened, this young man was still 17. And it's funny because Florida will charge a 17-year-old as an adult if he's the criminal. Yep. But in a situation like this, they took full advantage of victimizing him as a minor. 17, 18, like, come on, bro. First of all, homie was way bigger than me. Had way more face tats, big dreadlock motherfucker. It was a surprise to me that he was such a bitch and snitching. It was a surprise to me. I was like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? So when they did that, it was Florida playing hardball. So I took that. I called that. And I was 2 years in there, bro, trying to get out on some type of probation, some shit, nigga. I was stuck. So I pled guilty for my own convenience. That was the thing. I'm like, yo, I'm going to play guilty for my own convenience. I'm going to get probation. I'm going to get the fuck up out of here. Like, put this shit behind me. And that's what I did. And I even talked about that on Double XL. And it's funny how, like, they chopped the interview and then they highlight it. They highlight it to be like, Kid Buu addresses child abuse allegations. And it's like, nigga, why would you put that as the title? Because that makes me look like that even more, you dummy. And that led to, like, kids making that narrative towards my daughter in school. And I remember there would be times where, like, you know, she'd have to, like, you know, like, ignore stupid-ass kids that are asking her dumbass questions. It's like, bro, my dad never did that, bro. Like, to this day, I've never been grounded or been angry because she's a good kid. She gets good grades. She stays out of trouble. There's literally nothing wrong. She's never, ever gotten into trouble. She's a saint. So there's no room even for spanking. And last time I checked in America, you could spank your fucking kids. But I'm not the type to do that because my kid's not bad. But if my kid ever acted up, hell yeah, I come from that era. I'm going to whoop your ass, bro. You my kid.
Yeah, they made it seem like you were, like, beating your daughter up or, like...
Yeah, no. It wasn't that. She was even too little. She was too little at that point. When that happened, she was 2 years old. You don't spank a 2-year-old for what? They shit in their diapers. They can't even talk. It's Google Gaga. So, like, people don't do math. They don't do math, bro. That's what it is.
Yep.
They don't think.
That's right away. I was like, there's no freaking way. Like,
the timeline don't add up. It's impossible. The timeline doesn't add up. And this is coming from a girl that thought a Porsche was a Ferrari. She thought my Porsche was a Ferrari, bro.
Was that how it came out? Was that girl? Did the video?
Yeah. That was a part of her story. It was funny is any negative thing you ever heard about me is all from that 1 hour little story of this actress looking, which is funny. She went to college to be a creative writer and a journalist. So she's perfect at twisting words and creating narratives and stories. And if you look, you could tell she's just like super scripted in like a robot and this shit. Bro, it's just funny. It's just funny how what little boys will easily believe. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, why was she so angry at you anyway to like blast you away like that for no reason? Like,
bro, her dad is like CIA, so I'm not even gonna like. She was just butthurt that I caught her slipping, like being a little thought, and I aired her out at the time. But her dad had called me from some fucking like 17 digits across her phone and was like, "You're gonna leave Sarah alone, or I'm gonna make it real hard for you to travel around from country to country with your new career." And I knew he was CIA. That motherfucker gave CIA. I was like, "What do your dad do?" I see white picket fence, golden retriever, wife baking cookies and pies by the oven, the son's in hockey. You're this hot white chick. Like, this family's too perfect. Like when your dad is supposedly he investigates insurance fraud. That's what every FBI, CIA movie cover up is, nigga. Like, what the fuck? And I look at him and he looked like the nigga that be like, I have a special set of skills. I will find you. I will kill you. Like, he literally was that guy. And nobody knew that I had my Porsche stored where I had it at. He knew. And he mentioned that in the call. He was like, if you don't take those videos down slandering her name, I'll make sure you don't even get your Porsche that's here at such and such. And I was like, how does he know? Oh, this nigga's scary. I ain't fucking with this nigga. I just finished getting out this FBI issue. I'm not about to make an enemy with a fucking black op or whatever the fuck he is, bro. Like fucking Canadian Central Intelligence. I don't know what he is, but this man, that's why I really never came for her, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So she was protected by some Fed ties, no mob ties. She's got Fed ties. So I didn't want to go down that route, bro. I let it be. I was like, bet. And when the label was like highlighting it, because I knew there was them putting money behind it, like I said earlier, she didn't know nothing about that. That's when I just was like, oh my God, this is fucked from so many ways. I don't even know what to do at this point.
Yeah, and like her dad's talking about you should take a video down. What about her video slandering you? Like people don't see the bad in their own kids. It's always like the kid's an angel and everyone else is the problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh no, but I aired her out, like dirty laundry out, because she was not being a nice, respectful young lady. Let's just say that. And then she tried to pull on the guys that I caught her with. She tried to pull the "they raped me" card, and I was like, those men did not do that. I was like, those men did not do that to you. I tried to record. Icy Narco actually tried to screen record it from his phone because she knew, like at that time, it was like you could tell I was trying to screen record, and she was like, don't screen record this. And I was like, I'm just saying, like, if he really did that, we should record this and report it to authorities, no? And she's like, no. And I was like, that's because you're a liar. You're full of shit. And I was like, bro, it's not my fault that I couldn't bring you to the States. I had a legal issue. They were not going to let you come with me to the United States, not even as a girlfriend. She tried to come. No, she's Canadian. She tried to come over with me. It wasn't happening. Oh. They told her at the border, they were like, nah, feds are about to come pick him up. You ain't coming in. You're a flight risk.
Like LA thoughts or something.
Nah, dude, she's from fucking not Toronto, but Brampton or some shit like that.
Oh.
Yeah. So she was upset. She was upset at that, and then while I was away, doing me over here, trying to get the career, she was just like, in the studio thotting and bopping. And I had people sending me shit, and I was like, I do not want to see this. I don't want to see your penis and stuff, and blowing me out of people's mouth. Yeah, they were sending me some very X-rated content, and I'm like, yeah. I was like, you do know that's not my girlfriend, right? Because they were trying to clout chase, like, oh, fam, I got your girl. Oh, I got your girl, fam. We're really mugging her out, and we in it. Like, no, you're not. I'm like, no, you're not. I've been broke over that bitch, nigga. Little do you know, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here fucking on China, nigga. Like, little do you know, like, I don't give a fuck. Yeah. So that's why she was hurt, but that's why she was hurt and did that video, because she was like trying to get my attention by all means. Even dyeing her hair pink and doing the Adam shit, that was all to get my attention. Like a young little girl trying to get attention and shit. She was hurt.
And you said that you paid for her plastic surgery, right?
Yeah. I paid for that shit. Dr. Torgerson. He's the same one who did my nose and shit. It's the same plastic surgeon. Again, I got receipts. I paid for that shit. The way she looked, if y'all niggas think she bad, I know a few of y'all probably still follow her. You're welcome, nigga. That's all me, nigga. That's all my money.
If anything, she should have been thanking you. Like, I'm sorry we broke up, but we're paying for all this,
Yeah, right? Where the fuck is the gratitude? I thought Canadians were nicer people, They always say sorry. They always say sorry for everything. Like, where's the thank you? Goddamn.
Was she Jewish or just like regular white?
Scandinavian.
Oh, blonde hair, blue eyes. I love it. So you dated her. She's white, but then you dated Black China, who's black. So you don't really have a preference with women. You'll date any race as long as they're hot or whatever.
Hell yeah.
And your daughter, what's her mom? Is her mom white or
Colombian?
Oh, I fucking love it. I fucking love it.
Yes.
Have you been to Colombia?
I don't discriminate, man. Nah, I never been to Colombia.
Bro,
I like my fingers where they are. I ain't going over there. Yeah, fuck that. I mean, I'll go now, but before I was too stubborn. I used to travel, like rings on every finger, jewelry everywhere, and I was very like, you can't touch me. You know who I am. You know what I mean? When you know what happened to you, like I was like that. I was very arrogant.
You were like a target too, yeah, because you had all that jewelry.
I was a wish a nigga would type of target. Like I really was. I had that type of attitude because, like I mentioned to you before, with the whole when I was in that dark place, suicide. I just really was like, fuck it. So, like, what are you gonna do that I won't overdo to me?
Oh yeah,
You're
yeah.
talking to somebody who's not afraid to die, bro. So what the fuck are you gonna do?
Tell them that suicide story if
You know.
You want to share that publicly.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, you asked me if I had did DMT before, and I did share. Yeah, I told you earlier. I forgot we went on live when we talked about that.
Yeah.
But this was many years ago, guys. This was before I was humongous, before I was Kid Buu, before anything. I really was a regular Joe Schmo stuck in the matrix. I worked fucking 80 hours a week at a job and still tried to trap and make my extra money outside of the work like anybody else would. So I was selling whatever I could sell. If anybody asked me if I had it, I say yes. Even if I didn't have it, DMT was one of those things that somebody wanted it. I didn't know what it was. So I researched it and I found out that it was something you experience when you die or when you dream, and that you could use this drug and feel that. And I have found out about this, and the text coincidentally came in, which I don't believe in coincidences, but for lack of better words, it coincidentally came in right after I just got caught by my ex-girlfriend with putting a gun to my own mouth. And I had a letter written, and I was ready to go at that time. I felt life was colorless, food lost taste. I didn't feel any emotions towards anything, even her, myself. It was in a real dark place, and I just, I almost made a big mistake. So she caught me. It was like getting walked in on, like cheating or jerking off type shit. Like, this is not what it looks like. What are you doing in here? Embarrassing. I just dropped the gun and was like, just move on my way. And I went into my car, and that's when I got a text. Like, yo, you got DMT? And I was like, yeah, I got it. He was like, how much? I was like, I'll hit you back. I looked it up. I was like, 150 a gram. I'll give it to him for 100. I'll earn his business. But after I read about what it was, I was like, how weird is that somebody just asked me for this shit right after this just happened?
That's
really like, and I was like, could that be like? And I never always would say God. I'd be like, could that be the universe telling me something?
Divine intervention.
Yeah, I was like, maybe I could take this drug and simulate death for like 10 minutes, And I did. I went somewhere, homegirl's house. It wasn't a homegirl, low key, like one of my clients, like a custodes or whatever. I was like, yo, can I try this in your crib? Like, because the first time I tried to do it alone, it didn't work out of a blunt. So I hit somebody up, like, told me how to do it the right way through a bong, whatever. So she taught me. And when I did it, man, like, I visited another being, like a light force in what looked to be like space. And it looked like a bright star, and I got closer and closer to the being. And when I got close enough and went to go fix my eyes on the brightness, when I opened my eyes again, I'm looking at myself, the curious me, looking at this light being, and I was the light being. And it was just this moment of like, wow, like, could this be what I felt is looking down upon me from the heavens this entire time? Could this be who I'm praying to? Is it really just me? Are there just infinite versions of us? And what is life in that case? If I die after this, is this what really happens after life? Is nothingness? This kind of like spiritual journey that lasts probably infinitely, forever. Because what is time here? This place. And when I came out of it, it felt like deja vu, like everything was happening all over again. And I felt the sense of time being non-existent, and that this was the only one life we get. And I ironically, one thing I didn't mention to you earlier was there was a familiarness about this place I went to. And I remembered when I was 11, my appendix erupted. I was rushed to a hospital. When I arrived there, I was dead. I flatlined in the ambulance, and they were able to, jump me right into surgery, get me in the ER stat type shit, start cutting me open. And I was dead for about 7 minutes. And the doctors were able to get a heartbeat out of me. I was in a coma for a few months before I came out. This happened around the age of 11 years old. Oh, and when I was 11, I remember a place I went to. It was dark. It seemed like space. And there was nothingness. Just my conscious, my voice that's in my head was existing. And I remember when I came out of the coma, I asked my mom, do children go to hell? And she just cried and was like, no, like, why would you say that? And I told her, when I died, Mom, I was somewhere dark, but it didn't seem bad. It seemed like a peacefulness, a darkness. It seemed like home, like where I was before I came here, before you brought me to this earth, before I came out of you. It was where I was before here. And I told her that day, I want to go back. I don't like it here. And she cried. She called the nurses. They had like a psych come because they were like, sometimes when someone's in a coma, they may need a little bit of therapy, some talking to. So a lady would come and bring like a Nintendo 64. I play Mario, and she'd just chat with me about it and stuff, I guess, to see where my head was mentally, you know, because I was on anesthesia as well, which can cause certain hallucinations. I checked out to be fine, you know, a rational thinker, good kid. And once I was able to learn to walk again, because that 2 months in a coma, you have to learn to use your legs again and shit. So, you know, I had to go through the physical therapy. I was able to go back home out of school, back to school and everything and whatnot. But fast forwarding to the future, when I did the DMT, I was like, yo, I've been here before when I was a kid and before I was a kid. And I was like, that's when I knew that whatever I was experiencing and simulating that death, that was very much true. That was very much really what it was. So when I came back and I'm back again sober and the DMT was wearing off, I had this sense of like I was in a meditative state, just sitting there, kind of just chilling, smoking a blunt on the balcony, and I was just thinking about life. And I was like, man, like I really was gonna pull that trigger and not come back 10 minutes from now. And how fucking damned would I have been to regret that moment? Because I can't go back. This is the one life, the one body I got, and that birthed a moment in me that was like, that was the moment when I would just do anything I ever wanted to do fearlessly, without caring if I lost or it failed. I just do it because who cares, bro? Like, this is the one life I got. The one life I'm gonna experience it. I'm not about to sit here and be all in a muck with a cloud over my head, bro. Like how I was living this entire time in my life, thinking that life wasn't fair, thinking that like you have to deal with that situation. If you were born in poverty, that's where you're gonna die, is in poverty. Like those stories about people making it, those are all just fairy tales and stories that give us high hopes, but that doesn't happen to the average man. That's not for me. Like, I used to believe that. I was like, what the fuck I got to smile and laugh about, bro? Ain't shit funny, nigga. Ain't nothing to be happy about. Like, I was really dark and negative until that happened, until I started seeing, like, bro, this really, life could be more than just what this is. I could break out of this matrix if I just fucking go and not give a fuck. Because, again, I was ready to just let it all end right now. So why not just go out with the same ambition? And that created a monster, but a good monster, my best friend monster. Like, I was able to achieve and accomplish things I never thought I was, you know, like really live out my dreams, bro, and do shit that to this day, I look back and I'm like, nigga, I can't believe you did that. Like, your life's a movie, bro. Like, you really went through all of this to be here where you are today. And I feel like I lived so much already. I'm at peace right now. Like, there's nothing more that I want to do, but rather there's more I want to experience. And it's simple things that, you know, like I want to go to Dubai and, you know, play with a tiger. I want to go swim with pigs or something like that, little beach and shit. It's dumb little shit now that, you know, that's just about just enjoying the life that we're here. But as far as proving points to myself that I could break limitations, I already proved that to myself.
Well, let me ask you this, because you said you were in a super cynical, negative mindset prior to that situation. Can you pinpoint what happened to make you like that, or were you like that since you were like a little kid, or did something like you had a breakup to where like you just became negative about everything? Or
I was just always like that.
That's how I was too as a kid. I was always like negative, like I hated everything. So I definitely relate to that.
Yeah, and I gave a chance to like God or whatever. I would sit there as a kid praying and like, you know, like, why is this happening? Like, if you are up there and you're all, you know, so merciful and loving, then why is this happening to us? Like, why are we going through this shit that we going through? Like, why is my friend getting killed? Like, why are we going without meals sometimes and I gotta fall asleep hungry? Like, why are the lights being turned off? You know, like why is this happening to us? But then I'm turning on the TV and seeing people that have these huge houses with lots of food and lots of lights. And are they better than us? Then I started thinking like, maybe just God isn't for me. God is for that man. And maybe there is no God for us. And I started thinking like that. Like, then I'm an outcast. I must be hated. I must be the fucking, you know what I mean? Like, to crawl on the belly of the sands forever type of nigga descendant. That's where I come from. Because he don't give a fuck about us. Where's my miracle? You know, so I was really thinking like that, cynical, instead of thinking different. And when I found Raelianism, like that taught me that way, you know, kind of like a way of Buddha, you know, like the way of life of not having these expectations that are going to set yourself up for failure in the future, but rather just being happy for being alive now and here for no reason. And that right there just unlocked an infinite potential for me, man, like emotionally and everything. And like I said, when I got with the label is when I noticed those darkness coming back because I didn't feel in control anymore. I started feeling like this dark. And that's why I was like, I got to get away from them because they're trying to draw me right back down to where I first started years ago. And I'm not going back there. I refuse to.
You could see yourself kind of falling back into that mindset. You were able to recognize it and kind of pull yourself out of it before you let yourself fall into it again.
Absolutely. And it almost felt metaphorically like mind control almost. So it was like I started losing who I was. Like what the things I was doing was just not me. Like I said, the drugs I was using were drugs I used to sell and look down at others for consuming it. But yet now I'm a consumer and then calling it being a rock star. And it's like, so what is a rock star then to you guys? Someone that has no self-control and will abuse drugs until they accidentally overdose? That's not, if that's a rock star, bro, you can keep your fucking leather pants and black nails. I don't want to be a part of this. You know what I mean? But that's not a rock star because it's not, nigga. If you really know what a rock star is, nigga, it's a nigga who picks up a fucking guitar, grows his hair long, doesn't wear underwear with his tight leather pants, and rocks the fuck out, bro. Fuck some groupies from tour to tour and just makes good fucking music. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. That's what it is. That's a rock star actually doing something with your life. Not just fucking getting high as a junkie dressed like a rock star, which is what the new rock star is now, unfortunately, are junkies dressed up as in rock star costumes.
Yeah. Let me backtrack a minute, and if you don't want to answer this, you don't have to. This is kind of personal, but you mentioned that you had written a suicide note.
Yeah.
Do you care to share like what you had put in the note, or would you rather not share?
I'd be lying if I said I could remember. This was so many years ago. I wasn't even old enough to drink liquor.
Oh, so your daughter wasn't even alive yet?
No, she was. Okay. She was just still very like I said, she probably maybe like 1.5 or some shit. You know what I mean? Like she was very small. So you could imagine like I'm going through all that too around that time. Like I'm a new father and all this. I didn't know. I knew I wanted to just be there, but my baby mom was making it quite difficult. You know, like she's making it very difficult for me to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Talk to her. Are you close with your baby mom?
Oh yeah, now we're great. We're great. She's grown to be a fascinating woman. I think she's great. She's got some good things going for herself in life. Thank goodness. And
so I feel like with everything you've been through, like we talked earlier about how you used to be friends with Lil Xan, like y'all hung out all the time. Mm-hmm. And now he's kind of dealing with his addiction issues. And he was then too. Like it's been public, it's not private or anything.
Yeah.
Has he ever come to you for advice or like
Nah. The only one that came to me was Bunk. And he came to me pretty much was the day of the Adam interview it was just to keep an eye on him because he knew that I didn't like to see people get that fucked up. So he's like, look, I'm intentionally going to chug this champagne to get fucked up, and champagne be sometimes making me feel like I'm going to puke. So maybe I could puke all over Adam and get a viral moment. So that's all he really wanted. And I was like, if you're going to puke on Adam, I'm for it. Because that guy hates me until this day. No one knows why.
You were there that day. I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, he wanted me to be there as a watcher, you know, make sure nothing happened to him, make sure, like, you know what I mean, no dumb shit. Because you know how LA sometimes somebody will see somebody and think, oh, let me take advantage of this nigga, you know, so I'll be there like that shit ain't going down. So I was there to just make sure he was safe, period, you know. The whole wall thing, good thing I was there to catch him. I almost got caught. It was a tight area. I was trying to squeeze and he was trying to leave. And, bro, good thing I caught him, though.
So you and Boom, y'all had been drinking heavily before that together?
He did. I didn't. I'm not, at that point, I wasn't big on drinking. I was just big on like I said, the shrooms and then smoking that shit. And like I was like smoking 30s and fucking popping perks and shit, feeling like Superman. I thought I was Superman and shit. But that was funny. The funny thing about it, I was geeking on the low, like no one knew. So it was like, that's how I knew something was up. You know what I mean? Like I was like, I kind of knew something was up. Because when I first came, I started signing deals early on. And then I didn't like the way certain things was like the way it was being put to me. Like I said, I felt like I was under some sort of control, and that was like my way of dealing with it. Like, whoa, I'm not about to feel like this. Like, and when I had tried the shrooms, I felt free, and then I started getting introduced to other shit, and then I'm like certain people that I looked at and idolized, like big producers and artists that I won't mention out of respect and dignity for their names, but I seen they were dabbling in certain things, and I was like, wait, you do that? And they're like, yeah, but only for the music, because, you know, it helps me do this. And I'm like, damn, like, maybe, because I be creating some crazy shit. But I was like, maybe if I tried that, you know? I was like, I never thought about that. You know, I always sold the niggas who I didn't know what they do. I usually sell to them, and they leave, go get high. I never question, what is this nigga doing when he's getting high? I always just thought y'all just get high and sit in a room like junkies. And he was like laughing, like, nah, nah, nah. Like, and I started dabbling in shit, and bro, bad. Fucking bad, bro. It was not a good idea. That's really how they get you. That's how the industry really gets you, bro. I feel like I don't want to say like the devil or anything, but people, you know what I'm saying, they'd be like, that's how the devil gets you, you know?
Well, no, I mean, it does definitely change you as a person. I mean, I've seen it with many of my friends, but do you feel like it affected your music at all that you were recording at the time? Did it make you feel more creative, less creative, lazy, motivated?
I would record a lot, like sometimes 50 songs in a day session. We'd start recording at 5 a.m. and we won't go to bed till 5 a.m. the next day. And I would get that much work out. Like Panda, I was working that motherfucker, but he had beats, infinite beats, and producers were coming into the crib just so much, and I would freestyle, because I come from that like era of like Wayne and freestyle. That was like the thing, the bar he said. So I would come in, I was like freestyling like crazy, and I felt like at one point I was like, Shroom and Percocet together is my thing.
Oh,
so I was like, and that's when I fucked up, because I told myself that's my thing, and I would be like, like Papa, bro. I was about to go to sleep. I was crashing, and Panda's like, before you go, let's drill through a beat. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, let's drill through it. He's like, put the beat on. And I was like, talk about that my wrist, fool. You were arrested with it too. Fucking that bitch like a shih tzu. Get her bonded like a miss tzu. They can girl like jiu-jitsu. Like, but I was just going crazy. I was like, you know what I mean? Like, just spazzing. And I was like, all right, I'm going to bed now. I didn't think nothing of it until later it popped up in a label meeting where we were showing music, and they were like, whoa, go back? What was that? And I was like, that was me kind of like, I was like, have you guys heard of Comethazine? And it's funny, I never said this before, but I told you, like I said, I don't mind sharing where I would get some sort of like inspo from.
Yeah.
When he put that beat on, I thought to myself, this sound like a Comethazine, like, ooh, like type. You know how he was like, oh, bitch with the jag or some shit. I forgot how he had like, you know what I mean? Like, it was like, ooh, or some shit. I don't know. I forget how his music is. But at that time, there was a song by him that was like, it was bopping a lot. And I was like, oh, this gives me that vibe. I was like, I can just come off like that, but like better, like super Eminem mode with it, with the bars and shit, and go crazy and add my own little twist. So I did. And that happened. You know what I mean? I always, like, if I try to do something, I always try to add my own twist to it and shit like that. And that was around the time that I was trying to stay away from like the deep auto-tune or the high-pitch auto-tune, because I was doing a lot of that experimenting-wise. But when I would show it to niggas, they'd be like, oh, I like your voice, though. Like, I like when you do it, like, just rap like you, which is why, like, Death to SoundCloud and Blunt are, like, also some of the more, like, popular songs amongst people. They really like my regular voice when there's nothing being done to it. But I just love to play with vocal effects. Like, I love vocal effects, bro. Like I said, like, hearing Travis and, like, I come from, like, the era of, like, a lot of R&B music, and especially, like, T-Pain just surfaced out of nowhere when I was a kid. So I was just dumbfounded by, like, this auto-tuning and stuff that I always knew I wanted to play with it and have fun with my voice. You know, I didn't want it to be dry. So niggas hated on those type of songs that I did back then. But now I'm glad to say that there are people out there that appreciate it, you know, because I drop music like that nowadays, and it feels good to do it.
Yeah, I feel like your album, Revenge of the Clones, has a lot of experimentation, which I personally really liked. Like Shopping in France, you kind of did a voice.
Oh, you like Shopping in France?
That's one of my favorite tracks by you. That's one of my favorite.
Oh, for real? That's crazy, because I wasn't going to put that out. That was actually the label's decision. They were like, you don't understand, like, how you snapped on this, nigga. And the lady actually, she yelled at me. She said, rap, nigga. Listen, I was like, did this lady just call me a nigga? Like, I was shocked, but I was also, like, my heart was racing, because she just yelled and slammed her hands on her desk, because she's like, here, like, I'm in there, and I'm like, but look. And I don't want to mention her name, because now she's big higher up, like a CEO of another label. But back then she was just not that. She was working in office work with the current label I was with at that time. But I was talking with her, and I'm like, look, I kind of want to do this. Like, listen to these songs. It's Plastic and I Try, and these are like more singing. She's like, what is this singy shit? Like, you rap. She's like, you don't understand. You could be like the next Lil Wayne. Like, you got that. Boo, you have that. You need to rap. And I was like, no, but like, look, listen, she just said, rap, nigga. That's when I was like, oh yeah? So I went in the studio and I was like, I did blunt. I was like, yeah, bitch, I'm rich, so I do what I want. Yeah, bitch, I'm blunt, so I talk how I want, bitch. I was talking to her. Like, I talk how I want, I do what I want, bitch, because I'm blunt. That's me.
I was wondering why that was so different.
Yeah, so I sent that back to her, like, angry, like, you like that? How's that for you for rap, nigga? And she's playing it in her office, and who walks by? Black youngster. He pops his head, and like, what's that? You know, like, who's that? And she's like, it's our artist.
He was there at the time?
Yeah, when I sent the song in, at that very moment when she's in her office playing it over her speakers, he walked by, hears this, pops his head in her office, and like, who is that? And she's like, this artist Boo. And he's like, that clone boy, huh? My brother love that nigga. Get him on the phone. So she FaceTimes me, and I'm thinking, she must like the song. So I answer her call, and she's like laughing, looking like at someone like, stop it. She's like, Boo, you would not believe who just walked by while listening to this song. And then he grabbed the phone. He's like, hey, little bro, this song hard. Like, I'm on it right now, little bro. And I was like, what? I was like, I bet. I was like, I'll send you with an open verse. So he's like, yeah, make that happen. She can make that happen. So yeah, shout out her. She made it happen. And again, because she is higher up position, I don't want to say her name because I don't know if her new current job position. It is a corporate company, and publicly traded companies, they may not like that language that she used or whatever. But I felt that she was just trying to push me, like, bro, you rap. I get the singy crap and all the pop rock you want to do, but rap. So that's why I found my mid ground now. You know, like with my last project, Blindfold 4, I'm able to still do the melodic auto-tune stuff that I want to do, but I'm popping my shit with bars. If you listen to the lyrics and the bars, I'm talking my shit.
Another song I love by you is Uzi Go Bang.
Oh yeah, that's another good one.
When you're talking about semen, eat your semen or something, that shit cracks me up. I don't remember the line, but
the Uzi Go Bang originally, I wanted to give that to Kid. Because me and him was working a lot with each other at that time. And we had a few joints together, RIP Lil Kid. But Sauce was the only one that ended up coming out. But we had more shit. We had songs with me and him going back and forward on some old hip-hop type shit. And then, like, I told him I could work on some other shit. He was like, yeah, I'm open to that shit, son. He's like, Thug, too. Like, you know, let niggas know. So I was, like, making a few songs that I was going to demo to them. So that's why, like, you know, the Uzi Go Bang. And there's another one that... Shitty go way too hard in my dick. That shit was,
I love that shit. What's that song called?
Yeah, like I don't even know. Like I got so many fucking goddamn music. I'm not gonna lie.
It is fire as fuck, bro. I love that shit.
I don't know how the fuck goddamn young boy is fucking. He's smart. Nigga, how do you memorize? He got so much music out. I'm like, bro, really probably like it's hard to remember every title, every name, every lyric, but he does it. That's crazy, bro, to me. Because I know the lyrics, but like when it comes down to certain titles, I'm like, oh, what was that?
Well, let me ask you this, like, because Revenge of the Clones was technically your debut album, but it only had 11 songs. Was that yours?
No, because they technically, if it didn't have 12 or more, it's not an album. But there's a thing about like if it has 6 or less, it's an EP, and if it's 12, it's a considerable mixtape. But we're past mixtape era and you know what I mean? Because we're in digital streaming world. So I was like, well, how does that really make sense? People are gonna look at this as an album. You know, and it's gonna operate like that, and it kind of did. People like you just said yourself. People thought it was the album. It's like, nah, that wasn't supposed to be it. Like Pink Planet was supposed to be the album, you know. And they were like, well, after this mixtape and this, and then we'll still give you advances. Like we'll come to that later. But I'm like, bro, y'all not seeing this? I'm already pissed that y'all got me doing clone shit. Y'all really trying to call this shit Revenge of the Clones? And originally it was Attack of the Clones, but then they had issues with legal about Star Wars, so they had to change that up. So it was Revenge. And I was like, I don't like revenge. I'm not a revengeful person. I don't like the energy of revenge is just not, no, that don't look good. Like, you know, like, let's take over. Like, if anything, this is Attack of the Clone. Like, if we have to go that route, if I must use cloning and then let's go that. But it's now, like, people really thought it was on some album shit, bro. I'm like, it wasn't an album. It wasn't an album. I have not dropped an album yet. I'm still a mixtape artist, single artist. Like, all these little, like, Blind for Loves, those are like nigga mixtapes. Like people know that shit. You know, those are like mixtape type shits. And then the Attack of the Clones or Revenge of the Clones is supposed to be like another series of mixtapes that were gonna come out while we work on this Pink Planet album. You know, so like to this day, I haven't actually been able to like drop in like a real life fucking album, bro. You know how much time it takes to create an album? Like there's songs that I thought were gonna be on there back in 2018 and 19 or whatever that I thought were gonna be on it that they're not gonna be on there. I put them on what the game's been missing. When I gave 50 songs to people, which no one has done that in history since like Little B and shit, like viral shit like that, bro.
Video on that. That shit was fire. There was some different styles on there too. You did like an EDM song, I remember, on there.
Mm-hmm. And that was with Rehab.
Yeah. That
was with Rehab.
Fire. How did that come out?
Rehab reached out to me for a feature. They wanted me to do something that was like involving like word playing with bananas. I was like, okay. So I did the Gorillas song, you know what I mean? Like all of my clips of bananas, like, you know, like I did the different word plays with the bananas thing, but I think it was too, like the continuity was too hood for them, they had said. And if I could make something more poppy and commercial, and I was on some like, no, that's what the fuck you get. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? Like if you wanted me to just use my voice, then how about y'all write something and I'll drake it out and spit it, you know what I mean? Like, but if y'all ask me for a feature, I feature. You're not about to come back and tell me if I go like change and cater certain shit, because I thought it was hard, bro, personally. So they were like, all right, well, we'll talk to the label and get back. And so while they were doing all that talking and shit, after time, like I had ran into the Shawn Mendes issue with Senorita, because I don't know a lot of people know this, but I wrote that song and I had wrote me into the feature of it. And then the label said that I didn't meet the demographic of his audience. And I was like, well, what do you think this was supposed to be for? Is to make Kid Buu a household name. Like, how are people who listen to Shawn Mendes going to know who I am if I don't do this commercial type features, which I'm willing to do? And even Thug in his career did that. He even had a song with Elton John. Do you think they stopped for 1 second and said, Elton John's people are not your demographic? Duh. That's the point of his music. So for whatever reason, I got cut out of that. I bit the bullet on that one. I was like, whatever. Like maybe if I do the label this favor, they'll look out for me later. But then when the whole situation with I Try and the Trippie Red thing happened, they weren't siding with me either. And I was like, well, like, if you guys aren't going to, like, help me out in this situation, then it's fuck you. And that's when I got, like, you know, I started really beefing with the label. There was so many shits with the label. I'm telling you, 3 months in, I regretted it, signing with those people, bro. Like, the $10 million sounds so beautiful. It sounds great. It captures your eye. But there's so much shit that goes within it. I was even reading the contract yesterday, actually, like, rereading it again, because I'm about to, you know, possibly sign some new contracts with people, but I want to reread the other ones and learn like how I got fucked over, so I know to avoid these clauses in the future with this one. I can like write them off and shit. But it's business, man. At the end of the day, it's business. And if you come into this game as an independent artist, to those who you are watching who are inspiring artists, learn the business. This is a business. Don't just learn music and think that, oh, like I'm going to create music, and then you fall. Those type of people, that mindset, fall for the same bullshit ass hustle when they run into someone and says, how about you focus on the music, be the superstar that you are, and let me handle the business shit.
Well,
that's a red flag.
You were also in a better position than most, because you came in the game already kind of having some money in the bank, whereas a lot of these artists may not be as fortunate, so they might even be more desperate to sign an even lesser deal than you got. And we didn't really explain this earlier. You told me this off camera, and we're not going to say any names, obviously, but you also got screwed by a producer.
Yeah.
Who basically said, like, let me take your signing bonus of $500K, and then I'll give you an allowance or whatever. I don't remember how you put it, but
yeah. So there's a gag order I have on this individual. I can't, you know, otherwise they'll try to sue me or whatever the fuck. And it's like, dude, you got so much out of me. But you know what's funny is, upon reading the contract yesterday, I remember I told you the $500K advance, he did fuck me by saying, hey, you know, Boo, you were going through them tax issues recently, weren't you, with the feds and stuff? How about you let me help you out? Taxes are high in Cali. Let our company hit that tax hit, and we'll hit you checks on the back end, but you'll still get all your money. Don't worry. Bullshit. I saw 175 grand, like I said, out of that. $50K I had to pay to the lawyer, which, let me tell you something. When I read the contract yesterday, the label also gave an additional from the 500,000 advance, an additional 50K to pay the lawyer, so it wouldn't have to come out of my advance. So
really,
that 50. So not only did he fuck me from the $500,000, writing me only 175, keeping about 3 something for himself, also kept the 50 that I gave him to give the lawyer because the label paid the lawyer, so he got an additional 50. You want to know what else I learned yesterday?
What?
I was like, yo, I gotta mention this tomorrow. I thought I only got fucked on the little advance. Buddy his grimy is so grimy. They also gave an $800,000 advance for the recording budget written out to the production company that was owned by him.
You're fucking lying.
Nope. Buddy came up off over $1.1 million after I signed of advanced cash money in his pocket.
And you had no clue about the other 800 until today.
Until yesterday night.
Yesterday.
I knew I had an 800,000 recording budget. I did not know until reading yesterday that it was advanced to the production company that I was signed to, which was him.
And you know what's so fucked up? When you told me, it made me think of the Kanye West situation, like how he was calling out certain people.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking true. That shit is fucking true. And you also told, obviously we're not saying any names here.
Yeah.
This dude came from wealth. Like he had money already. So he
bro, we're talking Bugattis and Birkins, mansions, like money, hedge fund money. And even so, you got to think about this though. Yeah, it came from the money, but you just got $800K for your production company to record my album. It don't cost that much for you to mix and master, Papa. And we never bought features. I could have had all the features. I could have paid for these rappers are like me, technically.
Yeah.
You know, real quick, they would have dick rolled me. Oh, he just gave me $80K for a feature. That's my best friend, nigga. Yeah, I love him. Yeah, my best friend. You know what I mean? Like, nigga, you already know what I'm saying. Like, you know how that would have went out, how that played out. It would have been all money, fake friend. Like, that's really how a lot of these niggas are. And I didn't like really want to even fuck with niggas like that if it was fake. But B, like, nigga, you could have really did that, but you pocketed that. And on top of pocketing 800, you looked at my 5 and said, oh, I'll take that too, nigga. Like, and then was like, actually, let me get another extra 50. When you got over 800, over $1 million, what is 50,000 you? That's how grimy and greedy this nigga is.
And listen, guys, let me just say again, Kanye West, Adidas, just put that in your head and do the math in your head of what we mean by that.
Yeah, that's really how it is, bro. And it's the corporate fucking sharks, bro, goombas, like gangs, like in corporate. That's a corporate gangster, and you know what I mean. That's and by all definition, a real Satanist, someone that will like step on anyone to get on top, like self-worship. They don't give a fuck about shit. They will sacrifice you, call you your brother, say they love you to your face, bro.
And what pisses me even more, like just knowing you and seeing like how cool you are, is this guy that did this would not even be known at all if it wasn't for Kid Buu. 100%. I didn't know who they were until I knew who he was.
Yeah, because I would always show love and big him up. Always big him up because that's how it was.
So like,
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy too? They did the same thing to Zan.
Who did?
The same person that did that to me did that to Little Zan.
Oh yeah, because he was working with him too when he was underground, right?
Yep, and sold him off to Stat, but Stat kind of muscled him out of it. Stat kind of muscled that situation and pulled up on him on some like Suge Knight shit. Like, you gonna sign over this kid to me?
How much did they get him for, Lil Xan?
I don't know, to be honest, the numbers, but I do know that happened. So he was really upset because he was trying to run that same shit with Xan, but another guy came in that spooked him. You know what I mean? So
Flo got it back for him.
No, he came up. He came up, bro. For a little while, him and Xan had a fallout, but now they're cool again because I see them hanging out sometimes. Like, I was hanging out with Xan not too long ago in Vegas too, but when I seen like he was still hanging around them, like, you know, that shit kind of like still rubbed me wrong. So I just kind of just like distanced myself from everyone entirely as some association. I just dissociated myself from people, and there's no bad blood. I love Diego. Like, he's still like, if I see him, I'm gonna give him a hug. He's cool, whatever. But I'm not kind of like share my updated music or what I got going on, because at the end of the day, like, I don't know what you'll share back with these other people who that I know will plagiarize and steal shit. You know what I mean? Even his 2 current artists that he has, he founded because I brought those kids over to sign to my shit. And then he ended up taking those kids too. That's sad.
Oh, and you know what we didn't mention earlier? And you guys are going to love this in the chat because they love Playboi Carti and all that. He tried to buy Red Diamond. Am I right?
Yeah. I was going to bring that up earlier, but I wasn't sure if Yeah. And I thought it was fake, but then my people's, like my legal team and shit, I was in contact with the same legal team, and he pretty much, it was when I first dropped Red Diamond, not before the re-release of it, because a lot of people don't realize you caught it. It was on what the game's been missing. So out of those 50 songs, it was the only one that was that very different, that stood out like that. And this is of course before the whole lot of Red Air, all that shit. So I had got reached out by email. I thought it was fake, sent it to my legal team. They started talking, chatting with the people to make arrangements, and this was going to be a real thing. And I was like, well, do I get to like be on the song, or how does this work? And they were like, nah, he just wants to take it. He'll probably switch things up slightly, do his own thing, make it his own thing. But as far as the beat, the idea, what it is, concept-wise, voice-wise, everything, like the way you deliver it is going to be all, and you'll just accept this chat. And I was like, that's a step, like, because at the end of the day, I was like, this is cool to work with this kid who's like pretty much working with ASAP, because I like ASAP Rocky.
Yeah, me too.
So like, again, deep vocal effects, playing with effects. So, that was my interest in being like, okay, I'll do this because I know, this will probably get wind from the ASAP mob and shit like that. And I could maybe get to work with Rocky one day or something like that. And to me, I think Carti is a great artist, so I thought it was cool. And at one point, I just told my uncle, he was the one helping the legal shit. I was like, you know what, bro? On second thought, no. And he was like, what do you mean? And I was like, I just, on second thought, no. Like, I'd rather put the song out again, re-release it, put a visual, talk to Danny, see if I can get it on World Star, and fucking drop a whole tape like this, bro, and just keep recording, because I got a bunch of them like this. This isn't the only one. So he's like, well, how many you got? I was like, bro, I got, nigga, over 100. You want to hear them? And started picking them out. I was like, bro, this is your Blind for Left 4. Like, yeah, put this out. But I was thinking like I needed like big budget and all this stuff. So it took a while for me to put it out. And during that time of me sitting on all this music, a whole lot of Red came out. So I was like, bet, like, let him be the guinea pig to this sound then, that before I start sharing people my music that sounds very similar. And I saw people hated it, man. They talk so much shit. And I was like, even certain people like Nabil that I mentioned earlier, great producer, and even people like Benny were like, what is this garbage, this trash? And I'm like, looking at them like, dude, you just told me yesterday the song I showed you that sounds very similar, same type of sounding music, was awesome. It sounded great, and I'm onto something, but you're being very honest about his shit because he's not in the room. So are you lying to me? Or are you lying to yourself? Like, what's going on here? And then a few months later, I don't know how the fuck he did it, because he didn't have an actual like single from that project that was like, the hit single, like the catchy viral single that was making like, oh, we're gonna go on tour for this. It wasn't like the next Magnolia. There wasn't one on there, but somehow he was touring crazy, and it somewhat became Breathe with the Take My Shirt Off and all the whole Stop Breathing. But it blew my mind that no one called him out, because that's Gucci Mane's lyrics.
Yeah. Yep, you're right.
So it was at that moment that it dawned on me, perhaps this is the time of the clones. Maybe this is the real attack of the clones, because here is somebody who is looked at as this god. These kids, Carti kids, will eat his feces if he offered it to them.
Feces.
And they're not realizing that this is a Gucci man. You know what I mean?
Well,
so I'm like,
I don't know about all that.
So I'm like, wow, this is crazy to me. Then I start seeing little people surface, little Carti babies, your Yeat, September, Destroy, all these all these guys
autistic
come out, and they all sound like this. And then not only is it's great, it's good, it sounds good, but the kids are gravitating towards it. They're liking it. They're embracing these new artists. They're not treating them like Kid Buu's.
Well, here's the thing. You said it sounds good. I don't think that Ken Carson sounds as good as you. I don't think, and this is my true opinion, I don't think
I didn't say great now.
I
said good.
One thing I like about your music a lot is you have a sense of humor in it that a lot of people don't catch on to. Like you'll say a little joke like, I really did fuck his bitch. Like
Yeah.
they don't have the humor in it. It's all serious. But with your music, it's not only it sounds fire, but also I can get a laugh out of it because it's like, damn, that's really funny. Like your bitch is sucking my dick, that kind of shit. Like they don't have that because I don't think they're getting women. Like they don't have that to rap about. You know what I mean?
That could be a possibility because it's hard to invent a situation like that isn't real. Like when I said I'm with two bitches, I had me a threesome. When I'm done with those bitches, I told them both be gone. Like that's on some shit I did the other day. That was true. Like I really one day had a threesome with these two girls. They started fighting, missed head. It was like that game with the baseball bat and who's gonna go first. They were doing that. They were doing that with my Johnson, trying to fight on who. And they're fighting, and I'm sitting there like, yo, don't get out of here. Like, y'all gotta be gone. I was literally like, be gone. Just go. Poof. Bye-bye. Be gone. Go. Angry naked man now. Go. Like, are y'all crazy? You broke my drapes. Look at the drapes. They broke it. Like, bro, they was really fighting naked over and over. I was like, what are y'all on? What the fuck? This ain't just Hennessy and weed and Red Bull. What the fuck is y'all bitches on?
They're probably Molly or something, or ketamine.
Oh my god, bro. Yeah, that's just horrible. I never did none of that shit. Good thing.
Well, I asked you earlier. I was like, bro, you should do it.
I accidentally drank from one of my niggas' cups, and he had lemonade with the Molly in it. And I remember I was like, ooh, Chick-fil-A lemonade. And I love Chick-fil-A lemonade. So I was going in while he was like talking to the camera. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna drink as much of his lemonade, thinking I'm being slick. And then he came back. I was like, here's your lemonade. And he was like, I hope you didn't kill it, bro. And I was like, nigga, I'll buy you another lemonade, bro. Like, come on. And he was like, no, I'm serious because you're about to go on stage. I was like, what's that supposed to? What's in the cup? He was like, bro, if you just start getting a boner feeling your nipples on stage, don't look at me crazy. I was like, no.
What was in it?
Molly. It was straight Molly, bro.
It was Molly?
Yeah, it was enough that he poured the cup for like him, and he was sharing it with 4 other niggas. So they put a lot. So I had like a 4-man dosage of lemonade. I chugged all the lemonade, bro, thinking it was funny. And I was on that what's that nigga's show? The comedian an Adult Swim. It's on the tip of my tongue. He does crazy shit all the time. His picture just recently surfaced. He went official with some chick. He's like laying on the couch naked, covering himself with a hat. Eric Andre. Yeah. I was on the Eric Andre show, tripping on Molly. This nigga's tasering me. They're slapping it through dildos on stage. And I don't know why. I saw the dildo. I was like, dildo! Going crazy, bro. I was tripping, bro. I was tripping. It was the Rick and Morty premiere. I was like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go. I was like, too fucked up, bro.
Was that the first time you did Molly in general?
Yeah, bro, I don't do that shit. I was like, I do other drugs. I don't like to get geek like that. I don't like drugs that make you feel like y'all. That shit weird. That shit weird to me. Like I don't want to feel like that.
How long did that shit last? Do you remember?
Nigga, that shit feel like it lasts forever, nigga. That shit feel like it lasted 3 days. I'm not gonna lie. The next day I was feeling weird. I was like still grinding on TV and shit. Like, man, when this shit gonna go away? Then I had coffee and that shit right back the next day. I was like, Starbucks ain't supposed to feel like this, bro. Like, bro, like I feel like this. I'm over here eating the Bantam bagels, like at Starbucks, like yo, that was not it.
So let me ask you this: so when you were like at the height, getting viral every week, were you having like a lot of threesomes? Like, were you getting girls like just trying to fuck you like all the time?
Honestly, I always had just like one girl type shit. So
you're like a husband material type of guy.
My baby mom say I'm like a boyfriend pimp.
Boyfriend?
Yeah, I was like, what that mean? And she's like, cause you get with a girl and you like to like build her up and like make her into a woman and independent. And then like after she's all perfectly nothing wrong with her, you always dump them. I'm like, I'm confused. So what about that is a bad thing?
Is that a bad thing?
And she goes, exactly, boyfriend pimp.
So you've always been like more of a relationship kind of guy, like because I noticed you dated that one girl in Canada for 2 years. You dated Black China.
Yeah. Well, not to be fair, I ain't dated 2 years. I was in Canada for a little bit. I was a little wild one, you know. I had downloaded Tinder, and she was just one of them that swiped on me and shit. And then we got snowed in. It was 30 below zero.
That was
snowed
like
in
before COVID.
This is way before COVID, but like in Canada, there's a thing like when the winter comes, like you got to find a little team to like, you know, hibernate with. Otherwise, you're gonna be stuck jerking the whole time, bro. Like you ain't got no pussy in the house because ain't no girl about to come with fucking 6 foot of snow and 30 below zero to get some dick. Like, and all the wax salons is closed. She probably ran out of razors. It's gonna be a hairy situation. So there was a whole lot. Like they put me on game when I got there. They were like, make sure you get a team that's been lasered, you know, and all this stuff. Like, they gave me major advice. But yeah, she was one of them that got snowed in. But I was living mad comfortable, so I was staying in like a lot of 5-star resorts. And at first, I was renting the mansion next door from Drake's mansion that's currently built. So yeah, I was renting that at a good price because all the construction going on next door for Drake shit. But I had too much wild. Like I had some wild ones, bro. Like I had like. Nigga, I had top 5 and a few of these like, you know, crazy motherfuckers that be in Toronto pulling through in the neighborhoods of, you know, a decent neighborhood. They're not liking all the hoodness is going on. We had some crazy moments. I was shooting videos in the crib, like. So after a while, the landlord was like, hey, you know, like I have other locations that are like, you know, in the city. If you want that lifestyle, he was kind of like be nice about it. So I was like, I see what he's doing, and I didn't want no trouble neither, because again, I'm running from feds. I don't want them to know where I'm at, what's going on. He's doing it under the table and he's taking my money under the table. So I was like, yeah, wherever you need me to go, bro. I appreciate you letting me stay here this long at that price. But if you got something that's gonna save me money, why not? And he was like, yeah, of course. You don't want to blow all your money. You're here. You don't know how you can make more, you know, like. Which at that time, I was sitting on probably like a cool like maybe like 160 something thousand American, and I converted it to Canadian, so it inflated. So I had a lot more in Canada. You know, I was very comfortable out there. So I could stay at a 5-star hotel for 2-3 months, room service the whole 9, and not make a dent in my pocket. So I was chilling, bro. I got to meet amazing people. I got the opportunity to potentially do a TED Talk someday because some guy that was doing a TED Talk I met there. I met like Drake's gym trainer, a lot of his close friends and people that, you know, taught me a lot about the insights, even Coach K of the OVO basketball team. I got good friends with him. So I got to make a lot of good, important, like, hip-hop friends that I got to learn, like, more of the, like, in and outs of how things will go in the industry and shit like that, from, like, the social media and streaming side of things. They taught me about SoundCloud and all that shit because I really didn't know about none of that. I was clueless. So, like, getting around these guys, you know, they were teaching me shit. You know, I got around Rodzilla, who was helping me shoot all my videos. He was helping me with that deep auto-tune voice, too. And really making that like staple image for Humongous the God. You know, I was even doing features with like this one nigga out there named like Reggie, who actually was on some like real big time, bro. He was on some real drug dealer shit, bro. The nigga ended up going to prison. I found out he had like a Carter building like somewhere in Montreal. I was like, God damn, bro. Like he couldn't rap for shit, but god damn, boy, cause he sell a brick. That boy was, apparently he went, bro. He was doing some real big things, bro. I was shocked. I thought he just had Nigerian money, like, you know, them rich Nigerians. Like I thought he was like that because he looked like that. Like, oh my Jesus, Buddha.
Wasn't there a guy like Slush Puppy or something that got busted for scamming people from that area?
Well, I don't know.
I just saw something on Say Cheese I was watching. When you said he was from Africa or whatever, I was like, Slush Puppy.
Yeah, Nigeria or something. Oh, no, Hush. You talking about Hush Puppy. Hush Puppy.
Yeah,
yeah. Hush Puppy's a GOAT. Yeah, I know who Hush Puppy is.
Yeah, I thought maybe that's who you were talking about.
I 1,000% know who that is. He's the reason why a lot of niggas want to flex on Instagram, bro.
Yeah.
For real. He really the first nigga to do it like that.
For sure.
Yeah, free that man.
Yeah, free Hush Puppy, man. I don't want I don't agree with the whole penal system. I don't think people should be behind bars, period. Even if you murdered somebody, I feel like they should just get the death penalty. Like, don't keep someone.
Yeah, I was about to say, just kill that nigga. Like, get the death penalty. Don't lock him up. That's so dumb. That's cool as shit.
Humane, man. I don't think that.
That's animal cruelty.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't kill the nigga. Put him down. The dog was rabid. Had to put it down. Like, that's it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Like,
that's it.
Plus, a lot of dudes that like say they're straight, they get in prison and now they're sucking dick. So it's like it kind of like converts people to homosexuality. from what I've seen.
I heard grown men moaning that night, bro. When I was in prison, bro, it's a scary feeling, bro. Niggas do not want to go in there, bro, in prison, bro. Thank goodness I wasn't one of them niggas that they was attracted to. Cause I'd have had to kill somebody, bro. I'd have to really stay the rest of my time in jail for slicing niggas' neck. I done seen people get their life taken. I was in a 90-man inmate type thing, an open pop. So it's like 90 dudes. So if somebody got some beef in the middle of the night, you'll hear some screeching. You look at some dude being held down, muzzled down while they poking him up. You wake up the next day, they bringing the nigga out in a body bag. Like, I was like, bro, this place is out, bro. I ain't never want to come back to jail, bro, and do none of this dumbass shit, bro. Like, once I get out, I gotta stay the fuck out of this shit, bro. This is out. This ain't for nobody. This for the birds, nigga. You got niggas telling you when to shit, when to eat. You know what I'm saying? They ain't no real women. Bunch of gays and shit, punks.
Transgender, transsexual, transvestite.
Nah, they keep them in a separate mod because in fucking Miami, bro, I was in the dungeon, you know, the 5-story federal joint when I was in there. Shit, it's dark in them motherfucker, nigga. So they that motherfucker who go in there looking like that is pretty much like leaving a female in there. These men don't know how to act. They'll go crazy, rape that poor dude, bro, till he dies.
That's fucked up.
It's fucked up, but it's really like it's crazy in there, bro. Like, it really is that's one of the top 10 worst prisons in the world.
Which one was that?
The dungeon, the 5-story prison in Miami-Dade.
Oh, that's where you were at? Damn. Fuck.
Mm-hmm. They had me in Metro West for a little bit, but then once I had like signed off a guilty for my inconvenience, they put me up in there for the remainder of my sentence.
Damn, that's crazy. So I got to go to the bathroom really bad. I got to pee. Do you want to keep this going, or do you want to do another one like soon?
Yeah, we can do another one soon. Keep the people going.
All right.
I'm about to go get some dinner ready for my daughter. Cook some dinner.
I saw her almost walk out earlier, sneak out and say, "Dad, what are you doing?" But she went back in the back.
Oh, for real? Oh,
yeah,
shit. I didn't even she probably like, nigga, where the fuck my fucking food? Nigga? I heard the air fryer going. I'm like, oh, she over there making burgers or something. Yeah,
hey, man, I really appreciate you doing this. Let's do this again soon. And
yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
You're one of the realest people I met. So, like,
thank you, brother. Appreciate that, man.
Fuck, man. And thank you so much. And let's do this again soon for real.
For sure. Tell Bob don't be so scared, bro. I'm cool. I don't bite.
Hey, I'm gonna set something up where we all get on the stream. I'm gonna tell him
we should, man, because
we should. Like, he lives in Miami too, so I told him we should.
I know where he lives. That's why I said earlier. I was like, he in my backyard, bro. I know exactly where he's at.
But you
don't think I know? You don't think I from a humongous? Hold on, me being humongous. You don't think I know where he lives? I know where Adam22 lives. I know where everyone lives. Like, I actually know where y'all live. Your neighbor you run to in the elevator will text me and tell me, "Oh, floor with this, like that." You know what I mean? Like, or maybe a girl goes over a rapper's house and she drops me the pin and she's like, "Here he is, bro." I'm like, "Ooh, thanks, sis." Like, you know what I mean? Like, I got you though. Like, I know where it's at, and I only do that just for a safety precaution. And I like information. I'm like, I like intel. I'm really big on that. You never know when you might need it. You know.
Hey, how would you feel if I came to LA eventually and we did like you showed me around, we partied down there?
Yeah, come on down, man. Like, come over here. I'll show you like cool shit, no raunchy shit, bro. You know what I mean? Just good, fine wining and dining, you know, around good old white folk with good credit scores. No raunchy shit.
Well, let's do that. We're going to do more streams, and eventually I'm going to come out there. You're going to come down here. We're going to party it up, man. Like, it's been a pleasure. And thanks, everybody, for watching. We're going to split this up into clips, too, and get this thing going viral. We're going to go crazy. Yeah,
I'll repost anything, too, like some good parts that I feel like, the culture needs to see or hear some of these things. I'll repost all this shit, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Hey,
you have my full support. You have my full support and love, man.
Thank you so much, man. I love you, no homo. I like really appreciate it.
He's like, I love you, no homo, nigga.
Nah, you're so fun to talk to, man. Like, for real, it's been really fun. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, let's do this again for sure. I had a good time, for real.
Very soon, man. I'll text you. We'll talk about it.
All right, and to everybody in the chat, man. Peace and love to y'all.
Hey, peace and love, guys. Appreciate it, Boo.
Later, dude.
Later, bro.